admit, who's the drunken bastard who thought of this idea? We're gonna get a bunch of turtles. We're gonna make them teenagers. We're also gonna make them mutants. Oh, okay. I'm going with this idea. And they're ninjas. You just broke new ground there, Copernicus. Don't get me wrong, I like Ninja Turtles. I'm not the biggest fan of Ninja Turtles, alright? I'm not, like, completely obsessed with it, though I think I know enough to talk about this subject. So, it was already confirmed, Nickelodeon said they're making a new Ninja Turtle series, right after the CGI series ended, I believe, in 2017. They're gonna call it The Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, which I don't know what the hell that means. Does that mean they were... I don't know. Moving on. I didn't want to talk about this just yet, but apparently they released artwork by Complete Accidents, because on their official website they did take it down, so only a few people got this. I'm looking at the image right now. I already heard a lot of people make some criticism about this, and I'm not going to say they're wrong, but at the same time I feel like it's too early to really say whether or not the series will be good or bad. One piece of promotional artwork should not be able to make or break an entire series, especially since that could give, like, sometimes promotional artwork, trailers, and all that kind of stuff can give the wrong impression. I mean, look at the 2015 SpongeBob movie trailers. They made it seem like it was going to be a whole CGI adventure, when really the scenes we saw were near the end of the movie. So who knows? It could be a lot different from what we're seeing. Just take this with a grain of salt, I guess. So what I'm seeing is that it's going to be 2D animated this time around. Instantly, the style sticks out to me. I love this style. It's a bit more on a sort of realistic side, but still exaggerated in some ways, which is something that I like. Recently, we've been seeing a lot of cartoony series. There aren't that many action series that still kind of keep the realistic feel around. So I'm glad that we have this series, even though it technically wouldn't be doing anything new if it was made in the early 2000s, because it's being made today where we have like a sea of comedies. I can appreciate them doing something a little differently. I see some thick lines in there. Already like that because I love thick lines, and we haven't had thick lines in shows for a while. It's mainly just been thin, curvy, bouncy lines with hyper bright colors. And don't get me wrong, there's still some hyper bright colors here. Michelangelo's fucking yo-yo dodgeball, I don't know what that is, has some really bright yellow. I don't know what's going on with the aura surrounding them. I'll talk about that later, though. Overall, I like the style. I also like how they're drawing the turtles differently. Raphael, who's the main focus here, is bigger and bulkier, like he's more Hulk-shaped. Leonardo and Michelangelo are similar sizes. They're more thinner, but taller. And it looks like Donatello is very similar, but I have no idea what's going on in this picture, and I have no idea what April is doing to his poor head. Leave him alone. Going on an artistic look, I think it definitely looks good, but looks aren't everything. You can have great, phenomenal animation and still have a piss-poor story, and you can have terrible animation or terrible art and still tell a great story. One Punch Man started as like this crudely made digital webcomic that became one of the biggest anime series of 2015, and it's getting a second season. Aqua Teen Hunger Force gets a lot of laughs despite the fact it's not even made in Flash. It's made in Macromedia Flash, I think it was, and it has an extremely low budget. South Park episodes are literally made weeks before they premiere, and I think, so, of course, I feel like, I've always felt like this, that story should be treated separate from art. Now, don't get me wrong, art is important. I'm not saying you can have a bunch of stick figures running around and tell a story as sad as the Titanic. That would just be silly. But people have to also remember that if the art isn't, downright amazing, or it should be placed alongside the Mona Lisa or put in a museum, that doesn't mean that the story is going to be in the same level, especially if you're looking at stuff from independent creators, but this is done by big companies, so I can't use that. That's a topic for a completely different video anyway. Let's go over what's different. Now, before anyone freaks out, here's the thing. Adaptations are going to have to do things differently. It's just a simple fact. If you were to just copy and paste everything that was done in the last iteration, then you wouldn't be doing anything new. That'd be lazy writing, essentially. And you'd be making just an HD remake. And I know people like the earlier versions, but that doesn't mean like, oh, we're making a quote-unquote new version, but it's literally just the same, and it's practically just more episodes of what you had before. Some people would like that, but here's the thing. Adaptations, reboots, especially if they're done by different people, sometimes they are going to have to change. And these changes could actually benefit certain adaptations. Ninja Turtles are a great example of this, too. They had so many adaptations. The original 1984 comic had some blood. All the Ninja Turtles had the same colored headbands. And then 1987 cartoon. It was more comedy-based, goofy. They were more lighthearted. And they had different colored headbands, which, of course, has been a staple ever since then. That was something that was not in the original, but has become a staple. The first live-action movie, that's also a good example, too. Jeez. I don't know what's going on in my mouth. It was at that point that Raphael's more lone wolf personality started to come into play. Jesus. So, of course, I think that's what makes this a lot, where was I going? Shit. Oh, yeah. Some changes, of course, aren't going to be as welcome, but that could actually benefit certain brands. Some of those traits have become permanent and staples and are still beloved to this day. So who knows, even if some people may not like the changes here, they could become more welcomed later on, or not. It could be like a change that's only in one certain adaptation and completely forgotten in the later ones. One change here that a lot of people have been talking about is that Raphael is now the leader instead of Leonardo. Now, that, of course, is a big change. It's bigger than just changing the color of their headbands. It's bigger than changing a character's personality ever so slightly. That is a huge change. I can understand why people are concerned, but I've always kind of liked Raphael as a character more than Leonardo. But the reason I liked Leonardo is because of the conflicts they went through as leader, so I don't know what they're gonna do with that necessarily. But at the same time, who knows, it could be good, it could be bad. I don't know why there's a bandage on his front shell. I don't know what that's about. Is that just a part of his design? I hope not. That's a little distracting, actually. What's funny is that he doesn't have his size anymore. He has these baton things. I don't know what they're called, I'm sorry. And I know, like, a lot of people are also upset about that. It does kind of balance... Actually, no, it doesn't. I was going to say it balances out, like, the wooden weapons to the sword weapons, but then I remember Michelangelo had nunchucks beforehand, and now he has whatever this thing is. I'll talk about that later. Those weapons are used very similar to size, so they're not that different. But what I find interesting is that you can see on his belt, there's like a little badge that looks like a symbol of a sai. It looks like a sai in a circle. So I don't know, maybe it was like a recent change and they didn't change the design, or maybe like that was something from an older design they accidentally just put on there. So there's that. Now Michelangelo's weapon, he still looks like him, so that's good. He has like smiley faces on his knee pads. I kind of like that. He looks more wacky and eccentric. He always kind of was like that, but who knows, they might try to make it more exaggerated. They also have whatever this is. That looks like a tether ball on a nunchuck, so I don't know what that's going to be. Maybe it could be like nunchucks that he can turn into that thing. I don't know, transformable weapons. We do see April in this hovercraft thing that's attached to Donatello, so maybe that could be the case. But the aura and fire that's coming out of Michelangelo's thing, I don't know what that is. It could be some kind of special power, which is kind of weird to give Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles superpowers, but who knows? It could be done a little differently. Maybe it could be done right. Maybe it could be done wrong. It just seems a little silly to give them powers, but it just seems to be only coming from their weapons. So, who knows? I have no idea what the hell's going on with Donatello. He's turning into like some, what's his name? MODOK kind of character, and April's just riding away. And she's black. That's not a problem. I said it like it was a problem. I'm sorry. People are going to think I'm a racist. Now, they already confirmed that she would be turned from a Caucasian ginger to an African American, which of course already had some mixed reactions. Why change the race and whatnot? I can understand why they changed the hair color because, well, gingers are kind of going extinct, to say the least. There aren't as many gingers as there used to be. But changing her race entirely... Now, personally, I don't care if a character's race is changed. that doesn't bug me. I'm not going to be like an anime fan thinking that, oh, if it's an anime or manga, even if it takes place in a fantasy world, that must mean that character is automatically Asian. And if they make other adaptations, every character, including background characters, should be Asian actors and whatnot. And whatnot. And I get where people's frustration comes with that, but at the same time, I don't think changing a character's race is not going to do that much. I don't care if you got Light Yagami, Light Turner. Light Turner is not a bad character because he was white. He was just a bad character in general. I can definitely see some interesting things going on here. The art style is definitely separate from animation, so, that could vary. It could be done really well drawn, but poorly animated. That's possible. Art style is only one part of the animation process. I still think it might be a little too early to judge the entire thing. Maybe a trailer comes out, but even then, trailers can be very misinforming sometimes, so I think I'd rather just wait for a whole, let's say, maybe a few episodes to come out. It could be good, it could be bad. I'd say just be optimistic for now, and be open to the changes that are being made, until it's proven that the changes actually hinder it. That is possible. Different isn't always good. But I will say this, different isn't always bad either. God, I gotta learn how to talk. So that being said, I don't really watch TV as much, but who knows, maybe I'll give this series a chance. Like I said, I'm not the biggest Ninja Turtle guru out there, but I do enjoy the series for what it is. I like unique concepts the most. So, with that being said, I hope you enjoyed my constant repeating of the word and move the fuck on. Oh, jeez, this was terrible. So for those who don't know, there was a point in time when Disney Channel gave a shit about animation. This was, of course, both the 90s and the early 2000s. And in the early 2000s, there was one show that was different from all the rest. Kim Possible. It was about this girl with the same name who was this independent spy. She didn't work at some sleazy organization like in Totally Spies. There was Whoop. And yes, that was the actual name of the organization. She was just doing her own thing with her incompetent friend Ron Stoppable, a naked mole rat named Rufus, and a 10-year-old genius named Wade who was always behind the screen. Most of the time. There were a few times where we actually joined them in person, but you mainly just saw him behind a screen. It was just a sort of Monster of the Week cartoon where Kim would always face a different villain like Monkey Fist or Draken and Shigo. The series went on for a couple of seasons, had about 2 straight-to-TV films, and overall, it was one of Disney Channel's greatest animated series. It's very comparable to things like Recess and Phineas and Ferb and Gravity Falls. Now, Disney Channel is taking a crack at making a live-action film, and I'm a little concerned. Now, first let's go over the positive stuff, something that most rant channels don't want to do. A positive aspect is the fact that the series creators, Mark McCorkle, Robert Shuley, are going to be writing the script and also acting as executive producers for the movie, with Adam B. Stein and Zab Lepovsky. I'm sorry, I don't know how to pronounce that name. I'm sorry if I pronounce it wrong. Set to direct. So, for the most part, it seems like that we may at least have a fun experience. My concern does not come from the fact in the writing. If you have the series creators, if you have the people who made the series great, there's a decent chance that at least you're going to have something that resembles what came many years ago. I hope. There are some points where maybe famous creators could screw up, but let's be hopeful. Now, many people are probably going to think, oh, your issue is that it's live action. No. Kim Possible could probably really work in live action, but the problem is Disney Channel is behind the movie, not actual Disney themselves. Disney Channel is prone to doing straight-to-TV films, and yes, they have done theatrical films. A whole 2 of them. Hannah Montana the Movie and High School Musical 3. Now, you probably think, oh yeah, they've done theatrical, maybe this one will be theatrical. Maybe, but that doesn't mean that'll put that much effort into it. Hannah Montana the movie had a $45 million budget, which is small, but it was just a little live-action movie that didn't have that many special effects, and a lot of the stuff they did was more grounded in reality. So of course the budget isn't going to be too huge, and Disney Channel hasn't made too many theatrical films. It made its money back, of course, because Hannah Montana was a huge brand at that point in time. However, the movie High School Musical 3 only had a budget of $11 million, which is extremely low, something that more in the lines of like a straight-to-TV film would have. Like its earlier film, High School Musical 2, that had $7 million, and also Teen Beach Movie that only had $8 million. Most likely what happened was that this film was planned to be straight to TV, but they saw the potential in the brand High School Musical, which back then in like 2006, God, this thing was huge. Most likely they wanted to try and make more money off of it, so they made it theatrical. And God knows, with a budget that small, they most likely made their money back. Like here, let's check. Let's check if they made their money back. Box office, oh yeah, oh God, definitely. $11 million with the budget, the box office was $252 million. So yeah, it's considered a financial success. Those are my concern. Disney Channel rarely ever wants to go ahead and put that much money into something. Even if it's something that's supposed to be ambitious. Kim Possible may not be about magic, but it also has some sci-fi elements every now and then, and it's still a cartoon spy thing. When I think about the concerns, I always think about like the costumes, the special effects. Think about this. Which would you rather have? Like a more fluent animation of Kim swinging off of a grappling hook, or a green screen of a live-action person doing the same exact thing, where it's going to be blatantly obvious it's a green screen? If they had put more money... If they're going to be making a live-action film, I hope to God it's theatrical, and I hope to God they're putting a competent amount of money into it. Because this kind of stuff isn't cheap. It works for more things grounded in reality, like High School Musical and Hannah Montana, but it might not work for something along the lines of, let's say, Kim Possible, that may need more special effects. Now, am I saying if it looks bad, does that mean it's going to be bad? No. My belief is this: the visual aspect should be treated separate, still has a right to be criticized, but shouldn't make or break a story. But of course you know my main concern is that, well, Disney Channel's behind it, and not actual Disney themselves. Now, Disney Channel has done decent things before. They made That's So Raven. That was a pretty alright show, even though if you look back, it's kind of similar to a lot of the stuff they have now.
I think she gave you a list too. I know, but I'm doing mine. I got the dryer going, the dishwasher going, and now I got you going. Bye-bye.
And like I said, they have made a bunch of cartoons back then, and some of them were pretty alright, like Dave the Barbarian, Recess, Lilo and Stitchy animated series, American Dragon Jake Long. Those were pretty alright shows. But ever since High School Musical came around, I feel like Disney Channel just thinks, animation? Effort? Nah, let's just do more of this. Which is where things like Teen Beach Movie came out of nowhere. I mean, really, both of these movies stuck with their production names, High School Musical and Teen Beach Movie. Not much of a difference, except one takes place on a beach. Okay, but what if they did something a little more ambitious? Like the Wizards of Waverly Place movie, or, what's it called? Descendants, I think it is? Hang on, let me look this up real quick. Yes, Descendants. It was also a oh, yeah. The costumes for that were just ugh. For those who don't know, Disney Descendants was essentially this idea where all the Disney villains had children, and they were in school, but they look nothing like their actual parents do. They don't resemble them. Barely. They made a whole brand off of this, too. Like, holy hell. Like I said, I do have concerns from, the company that's making it. But from the writing, I'm sure we're at least going to have a fun experience. Most likely. Though, unless Disney Channel puts the right amount of money and right amount of effort into it, I don't really see this going anywhere. If it was one of those straight-to-TV specials, kind of like Hey Arnold, a Jungle Movie, or something along the lines of Samurai Jack Season 5, then yeah, I definitely would have high hopes for that. But as of now, I'm on the fence with this one. The writers would definitely make it a fun experience. But since it's live action, you also have to depend on actors, not only voicing the characters, but making sure they portray them well in their movement and their looks. And once again, my other concerns about the budget, whether it's going to be straight to TV or live action, how ambitious it's going to be. Hopefully, maybe it'll be at least a fun experience. If not, we can at least say we tried. There is one more thing, though, that I'd like to say before I go. This is proof of something. I was saying this all around the 2010s. When everyone was going on about 90s nostalgia. The 90s nostalgia train is slowly ending, and in the 2020s, we're mainly going to be focusing on early 2000s nostalgia. And oh my god, I wonder what the hell that's going to be like. We're ironically bringing back silly bands. Oh, Jesus. Hopefully that'll be an interesting point in time. And don't worry, you're going to feel really old in the 2030s. I remember when I was a kid and I watched shows like Steven Universe and Gravity Falls. Those shows were the best. And I'm going to be like, oh my god, I'm getting old. Those shows were great. But my god, I was in my 20s when Gravity Falls ended. I'm going to be a grouchy old man in his 30s like, you kids don't know nothing. I hope not, anyway. Jesus. Oh, I'm so excited. I was really afraid they were going to do that whole behind doors bullshit again. You have no... Hang on, let me fix the microphone. You have no idea how much I hate it when whenever they do a Kingdom Hearts, anything Kingdom Hearts story related, like, we're only doing this behind doors. Yeah, it's not like we've been waiting for this game since 2006 or anything. I really hate the behind door stuff. Now, I do know one of the worlds is going to be in this trailer because people had to go and ruin that part for me, but I don't know the rest, and I don't know how it's going to be presented. So, let's go ahead and, I guess, do a reaction to this trailer. I never thought I'd be doing reactions, but hey, first time for everything. I'll probably do some thoughts right after this, too, so let's go. I'm totally not doing this on YouTube. Peggy 12 my ass. Don't assume you're I can read, you know. Oh. Hey, pretty boy! Everyone's saying Marluxia wouldn't be in this game, but hey. Look at this shit. Get down on your knees, pretty boy. So you are a part of the new order. Neat. I remember your body and shape and we scare because we care. A big look at his face! Why is Sora's face so... I'm sorry. I think it looks silly. Hey look, they actually keep some of the quirkiness, which they often remove from a lot of these Disney films, inside when they're putting them in Kingdom Hearts. Okay, this looks cool. I was not expecting this. Oh my god. The leaks were only a taste. Oh my god. So that's how they're gonna do the door system. Huh. Neat. Oh, hey, you too. It's been a while. You're like, what, 3 years late or something? Seriously, I don't think those two have ever been in a trailer before. Until now. Ariel? What are you doing here? For a second, I thought it was just Rapunzel covered in water. Hey, look at the colorful balls. They look so good, by the way. I am just complimenting balls. So, what the hell is happening? This is getting me excited. Okay, I'm not gonna lie. Why are the... What is happening here? Oh my god. There's so much to look at. You could put Tsum Tsum cameos there. Oh. I'm surprised they didn't do that. Maybe they did and I just didn't see it. What the hell is happening? Oh. Hey, little feller, I didn't think I'd see you again. Oh, why, hello there, friend. I didn't think I'd see you again. Don't touch me! Don't touch me! Coming to us, yeah, no exact release date. Oh, really? Really? Still? Hey, wait, wasn't there like another part? I heard people talking about this other scene. Oh, there's another trailer. Oh, great googly moogly. Oath? Oh, must be the song. Yeah, they were saying it's the new theme. Done by Utada Hikari. Oh, am I gonna get, like, in trouble for this? Because she's iffy about her music on YouTube. I'll midify it. I don't know. I'll do something. I'll warp it. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be an asshole. 2 new trailers. Well, this one doesn't really have a lot of new stuff. So... well, ain't this cute? Oh, look, it's Hades, my favorite. Yeah, this isn't really much new stuff. I guess it's just meant to showcase the song. Oh, there's a... Riku! Oh, what happened, little boy? Oh. I like this design. I wasn't a big fan of the short hair, but I think it works well in this design. Wait, fuck, subtitles aren't on, fuck, oh wait, they're not in this one. Okay. Mickey's just smiling the entire time. That's why you stabbed that thing in the fucking ground. Oh. I'm so happy about this scenario. Oh. At least we know the game's coming out in 2018. Yeah. But no exact release date. Kind of a little disappointed by that. There's a lot to fucking wrap my head around when it comes to everything I just witnessed. Marluxia's back. There's Vanitas. Riku's design's finally revealed. The Monsters Inc. link was confirmed. I guess they just kind of thought like, well, it's leaked, we might as well show it. Or maybe this was planned, I don't know. Maybe the leak wasn't actually a leak, I don't know. There's a lot to wrap my head around here. They showed a lot, they really did. Ariel's now a summon, the Dream Eaters make a return. I mean, it makes sense to have all the enemy types back, so. I don't know if I should talk about everything. Maybe I should make a whole hotel pub dedicated to Kingdom Hearts 3. So, look out for that, I guess. I don't know when that'll come. Fuck. Let's go ahead and do this stupid thing already. I'm simply above this garbage. What am I doing in my life? So by the time you're watching this, it's most likely Valentine's Day. Oh, good luck, it's February 14th. Everybody's out there with their significant other doing whatever the hell they do. And I'm just sitting here going, what the hell's the point in Valentine's Day anyway? And I know many people are going to be like, oh my god, you're just angry because you're a single, lonely bastard. No, I'm genuinely curious. Okay, people will say, oh, well, it's a day to spend with your significant other. You can literally do that any other day. But it's special. So is an anniversary and a birthday and a holiday. The more days you make special, the other days will just be less special. Oh, honey, it's Valentine's Day. Aren't you going to do something? No. Tuesday is a special day, too. You know Syndrome from The Incredibles? He was right. If everyone's super, no one will be. It's the same ideology here, you morons. It's not envy, well, at least not in my end. If you were to ask my high school self when I was 15 years old in 2011, yeah, I probably would be a little envious. Nowadays, I really don't care. If I'm in a relationship, great. If not, whatever. It's not going to mean like life or death or anything. Oh God, I'm single. I can feel my heart slowing down. Oh Jesus, what's going on here? I don't have compassion with another human being, so I must die. That's how I was back in high school. I don't really see any other reason to keep Valentine's Day going. Any other. Like, how did Valentine's Day even come to be? That is a great question. I will look that up right now. Valentine's Day. Like, what the hell is this? February 14th. Yes, I know what day it is. I don't care. Valentine's Day, also called St. this is from Wikipedia, by the way. Valentine's Day, also called St. Valentine's Day, or Feast of the St. Valentine. What the hell does that even mean? Is that cannibalism? Are you referring to cannibalism? Holy hell. It's an annual holiday celebrated on February 14th. It originated as a Western Christian what the hell is that word? Liturgical feast day honoring one or more early saints named Valentinus. So we're not even celebrating Valentine's Day right. It has nothing to do with romance. It has more to do with fucking saints and eating food. I love food. Can we go back to that? I want to eat food. I don't care if it's for saints or anything else. I like eating food and feeling like it's socially acceptable to eat like a large amount of food just because it's a certain holiday. That's why I love Thanksgiving. Why do you eat all that food? It's Thanksgiving. Shut up. Christmas is like a month from now. I can do the same thing. You forgot Halloween was like a month ago. I ate all that candy. I also had like a hamburger for no reason. I put candy corn inside of it. It tastes gross, but I'm still doing it. I don't know why I'm eating so much. Good God. Can we just go back to that? Like, can we just have like a fucking every holiday have a feast? Why not? They're holidays, they're special, so people should have an excuse to get off their fucking diets and eat like whatever the hell they want and not feel like shit about it. That is their right, and Valentine's Day is just making it worse for not being what it originally was supposed to be. An excuse for me to be a fat ass. Then we go over to like schools and how they celebrate Valentine's Day. All right, kids, you get everyone else a card and you will pass them over in Valentine's Day. So like they have these packets of like Spider-Man Valentine's Day cards on like Walmart or something. You put like maybe like if you like had a family that had a bit more money, they could put like fucking candy cane inside each and every one. Most of the time it's just like a signature or whatever. A great way to teach kids like, oh, love everyone in the worst way possible. Don't teach them how to love a specific person. Don't teach them how to love their special one in you know, that way. Teach them how to love everyone in that way. It's great. Good job. A+, teachers. Why not, like, you know, one of those fucking friendly, like, school activities? Those are more fun than just walking around passing cards. You're my Valentine, and you're my Valentine. You're my Valentine also. Oh, what about you? You're my Valentine. Oh, I shoved you in the locker, but you're my Valentine just for today. It's great. Great logic there. Like, what the hell? Also, what is Cupid? Cupid's like a little baby angel with a bow and arrow. That if he like hits an arrow with one person, they'll feel, I don't know, fucking in love with the first person they see. Yeah, let's not have this shit be natural. Let's tell kids there's like a fucking baby angel floating around and be like, you're in love, and you're in love. What if Cupid didn't even know what love really was? Like, he was just passing this thing around. It could be a disease. and you have cancer, and you have type 2 diabetes. Apparently in like a manuscript, what was it, like for Cupid or like his Greek mythology brother Eros? Either one of the two. Apparently there was a version where he hit himself, or like someone used his own bow and arrows to hit him. What if it turns out he actually did have like type 2 diabetes? And like shooting down like arrows and shit, and it hit him. And like that same plot point came in where, I don't know, either someone else came and took the bow and arrow, or he somehow hit himself. And he's just laying there going, well, I guess I can't eat cake anymore. Now I know what that feels like. I should have stopped doing that a long time ago. My apologies to anyone who has diabetes in any way, shape, or form. I was not meant to insult you. I'm just being a jackass right now. I make fun of myself all the time. I don't know how that makes it better. I don't think it does. So go ahead, call me a jackass in the comments. I'll probably get diabetes in the future with how much spaghetti I eat on a daily basis anyway. So that'll be my karma. Anyway. But I always wondered, at one point I thought maybe Cupid is like the physical representation of a child that this couple could have. Well, what about gay couples? Because scientifically speaking, they can't, have kids in that same way. And then it made me think, oh, what about those kids all sent to adoption and whatnot? Cupid must be sitting there going, well, I screwed up. And all those aborted fetuses, oh, I really screwed up. I didn't mean to do that. No, jeez. This was a terrible error. I mean, technically, like, I don't know. Oh, hell. I remember back when I was younger, if, like, you've been here since the very beginning of Red Room, back when it was called Gothic Slenderman, I did make a rant called Should Valentine's Day Be Banned or whatever the fuck. That was in my envious phase. Don't even fucking look at that video. I'll keep it on there. Just as a reference as, like, the fucking idiot I was back when I was younger. That's it. I feel completely different. I don't care if Valentine's Day exists. I just gotta wonder why it exists. Because we're already clear to the point where couples can do their own special things on anniversaries. Think about it. If all couples are doing something special on the exact same day, how is that special? Think about it. Like Steve and Mary are going to the movies. So is Carl and Bliss and fucking Steve and Eve. They're all going to the movies. It's Valentine's Day, so it's special, says everyone in the theater simultaneously. Yeah, it's real special that everyone else is all doing it on the exact same day. Great. Great logic right there, Copernicus. Now, what am I going to be doing on Valentine's Day? That is a great question. Nothing. Probably this. My Valentine is oxygen. I love oxygen. It helps me stay alive. It keeps my skin fresh. For the most part, it comes from trees. Trees will be my Valentine. I like trees. I like the shape of them. I won't want to, put my willy into there because, for one, that'd be impossible, and two, that would hurt like hell and it would require a bunch of splinters. But I would say I could just give them a Spider-Man Valentine's Day card and say, here you go. I'll shove it in the branches, hang it from the leaves. Someone else will find it and be like, no, that's my Valentine's Day card. You do not, it doesn't belong to you, it belongs to this oak tree right here. How did Valentine's Day even come to be? Oh, maybe if I actually looked up Saint Valentine. Oh, Jesus. History. Numerous early Christian Martyrs, what the hell, were named Valentine. The Valentines honored on February 14th are Valentine of Rome and Valentine of Tournai. Valentine of Rome was a What? What am I doing? I don't want to read. Think I'm good enough to read? I can't read, alright? Reading should be my Valentine. I should give it the Iron Man birthday Valentine's card. I'm out of here. Now, I don't want anyone to be confused. School is very important. You need your education and your diploma. To have a very successful life, you need to go to college. But why is it that, like, a lot of schools do the stupidest of things? Like, here's one thing I never got. Why is gym class a requirement? Now, I was told it was because, it's to keep the kids healthy. Alright, so why would you schedule certain kids, so that it would actually go against them? Think about it like this. I remember, back in my old schedule, certain people would have gym class that would come before lunch. Now, why is this a problem? Because for lunch, they give you just basically grinded up garbage that just sits there in your body. You don't have the opportunity to work it off. You know, why not just have it like lunch, you eat the garbage, and then you go out and work it off? Why not? It's so much better than just having, like, I don't know, gym on, like, first period. Everyone's going to be tired as shit already, and then you're going to make them even more tired for second period. Alright, now, Jimmy, get your head off the table. I just ran, like, a mile. I don't care. We're doing, like, X equals whatever. Keep your head up. Screw it. It just sounds so counterintuitive. I'm thinking about it. Then we get, like, Jimmy here. He's pushing, like, 250 pounds here. Poor bastard. It's probably not even his own fault. And he's walking around, like, his breath is all heavy, and it's all because you decided to do gym class the first period instead of right after lunch. And you care about keeping the kids healthy. Yeah, really, you really do. You see, I don't get that. It's always drove me crazy. And here's one thing, and I'm someone who's 20, almost 22. By the time you're watching this, I'm probably already 22, since it's like 2 months before my birthday. So, I'm not even in school, but I just think about it nowadays, and I just think I probably would have had a better chance in school if we didn't have the stupid credit system. Like, what the hell is this? The credit system. Oh, not only do you have to do the classes and pass all of them, you have to do a bunch of medial other tasks and build the credits all the way up. And I just think it's just like, it's like extracurriculums and stuff like that. No, I don't we legitimately had a meeting of like extra, like credit and whatnot. It's like, if you want all the credits, you're gonna have to do this thing that's completely outside of school, and this thing, and this thing. Stop. Just let the kids pass their tests, and then let them go. Who cares? At this point, anyway. It feels like a lot of the time, it's more on luck than anything else that you graduate. At this point. That's how it feels like. I never had the opportunity to graduate. You want to wonder why? Credits. That's why. And I put in the effort. Don't say I didn't. I put in the goddamn effort. I didn't have enough credits for multiple reasons, which I don't want to go over because a lot of them are way too personal, and I don't want to burst into tears. So let's move on to something else. And here's something I don't get. I feel like if we actually made it, teach this once, give a test, move on, school would be much shorter than what it actually is, instead of like a whole 12 years in kindergarten and preschool. Think about it. Now, have you ever had that moment where you're like sitting there in like algebra or history or whatever they called it? Because in my school they called it social studies, or they called English, what's it called? CA, Jesus, what is it called? Communication arts, I think it was. I don't know. Anyway, they tend to repeat the same thing over and over and over, right? And for those wondering what I'm talking about, here you're sitting in there in 8th grade, you're in history class, we're going to talk about this guy called Hitler. Well, what about this other thing? Oh, it's too complicated. You'll probably talk about that in 9th grade in high school. And then 9th grade comes around, history teacher just waltz on in, and all of a sudden he's just like, have you heard of this guy called Hitler? And all the students just like, we just talked about it in 8th grade. What about this other thing? Oh no, that's too complicated. We'll talk about that next year. Next year never comes. They never talk about it. Whatever this mystically difficult thing that they're talking about is, must not exist. To them, fucking World War II must have just happened yesterday. Because that seems to be the only thing they want to talk about. No, I get it. They don't call them world wars for nothing. They're pretty big and important. But at the same time, do you really need to spend the time every single year talking about these wars? And Hitler? Here's another thing. Whenever they talk about World War II, they always want to focus on Adolf Hitler and all that kind of stuff. They never want to focus on stuff that actually happened with America. And if they do, they usually just brief over it. It's like, hey, did you hear that Japan got bombed by America from this thing called Hiroshima? No. But did you hear of this mean guy called Hitler? He was a mean fellow, yes he was. But America, Hitler was bad. And I'm not saying Hitler wasn't bad, that's common sense right there. Hitler, Nazis, and everything that happened in World War II was bad, okay? But at the same time, for a class that's meant to teach you about American history, we seem to be glossing over the American part of World War II. Every single year, I swear to God, if I randomly just popped into school and I walked into social studies or history, I guarantee you, all I have to do is say Hitler. And the teacher's just like, did someone say Hitler? Oh, gee, I could talk about Hitler all day and every night, I swear to God. It's still an important part of history, don't get me wrong. It is. But at the same time, it's history class, not let's repeat the same thing over and over class. You're going to have the students just talking in unison. Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad. I didn't know that. Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad. I didn't know that. Hey, Jimmy, what's the answer to this, impossibly to answer equation? Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad. I didn't know that. I see you've been in history class, but I need to know, what does X equal to Y? Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad. I didn't know that. Same thing happens to algebra. They get you in nearly every subject with that one thing they're just going to repeat over and over and over. Like they can't cram it into your heads. I swear to God, school would be the easiest thing in the world if they just made it so that they only taught you once, maybe twice as a refresher, and they didn't have the stupid credit system. But I guess that's why they have it. They can't have stupid morons being like, I got a diploma. I'm gonna be a politician. I'm gonna be the CEO of a company now. What I've also noticed is a lot of schools don't have what I call a life class. And this is stupid. Think about it for a second. Taxes, bills, applications, resumes, the real important stuff of what you do when you first get out of school. You think they'd be cramming this stuff all inside your head to the point where your brain would just implode with all this information. But no, they barely talk about it. Some schools do. But from my experience, the schools that do don't have it be a requirement. Yeah, I gotta know what's inside of a frog and the difference between electrons and neutrons, but not how to fill out a resume. Oh, no. I gotta know what X equals in this impossible to answer algebra question. But how to fill out bills and whatnot? Oh, God, we can pass that. Who needs that? Let's rip up with a frog and see what's inside and talk about Hitler every single year. But how to get a job and pay bills and write checks? No, I don't need that. You're gonna see in the streets every now and then, you just walk into the gas station, this other guy's, this poor bastard, who's been in school, held back a few times. He's just going, Hitler, Nazis, they're all bad, I didn't know. Never have I thought I'd ever say, Hitler this many times in a video, but look what you made me do. I'm repeating it just as much as school does. Okay, here's my proposition. And this is going to sound completely insane. I know. But can we, maybe lessen the amount of years it takes to graduate from school? At least to, 10th grade? Stop repeating a bunch of shit. Actually give them new information. Remove the credit system. Have it actually be based on grades and performance. And don't make social studies... If you're going to make social studies a requirement, stop repeating the same shit over and over. Actually give us new information. Remove science as a requirement, because who's going to need to know the difference between electrons and neutrons when they're going into retail? And also, I forgot what I was going to say there. They should have a memory class. They should! That would be like an extra curriculum. For those who have a bad time with their memory, come here at 2:30 p.m. so we can do our memory class. No one came here. Oh, geez, teacher, I forgot we had to be here at memory class. I don't know why that cracked me up. I forgot we had to be here in memory class. Woo. Before I begin, let me just say this. I was trying to get as much information I can on the situation, so I don't end up spreading misinformation. First and foremost, I am an entertainer. My intention is not to spread misinformation, cause drama by lies and slander. I want to entertain people, but with the information available. I'll have my own thoughts. Opinions are different from facts, obviously. We're on the internet, we need to be told that 1,000 times in a row. But the reason I say that is because I've been through so many news sites trying to get the information necessary, and half of them don't even get to the point. And it's like they either like to dance around or say completely different things. So, thanks, Internet. If I end up saying something that's not true, I'm going to look like the asshole. But no. Anyway, Dan Schneider, he was the showrunner. You may know him for many famous live-action Nickelodeon series. He was a showrunner for all that. He created many of Nickelodeon's famous live-action sitcoms, including The Amanda Show, What I Like About You, Drake and Josh, Zoe 101, iCarly, Victorious, Sam and Cat, Henry Danger, Game Shakers, and The Adventures of Kid Danger. However, recently, Dan Schneider was fired from Nickelodeon, mainly because of his behavior. For example, apparently when he heard that Game Shakers was not getting another season, many of the sources I looked into didn't specify, but he didn't control his temper very well. I don't know exactly what he did, because once again, these sites like to dawdle around the topic like, oh, he let his temper out. Okay, what'd he do? Oh, he just let his temper out. Thanks, sites. I'm gonna look like an idiot. It's probably gonna be, really obvious, on this one other site that I didn't even see. Oh, it's on here, dumbass. It's on his Wikipedia page. I looked on that too. But anyway, the biggest reason was mainly because how he treated the other teenage and child actors. He apparently abused them in many different ways. And apparently this was going on for years. I don't know how long exactly. For all we know, this could have been going on since the Amanda Show days. But if it really was going on for years, and that's all we know, it's been going on for years. And it wasn't a recent thing. But if it was really going on for that long, to say years, why didn't Nickelodeon step in sooner? My theory is this. It's going to make Nickelodeon look sick. But here's the thing. When it comes to business, you have a very successful creator. You have someone that knows how to make a great show. You have a great writer. And they essentially made some of your greatest hits. Let's say they get into a bit of trouble. As a random example, a DUI. And it gets all over the news. And you think, oh, I have to get this person fired because they're representing my company. But at the same time, they also made all of these other things that are extremely successful. And unless the accident affected him in that regard, then that would be seen as sort of a negative impact. By negative in the sense that he wouldn't be able to create another hit. And I think that's why Nickelodeon kept Dan Schneider. Mainly because he made Drake and Josh, he made iCarly, he made Zoey 101, he made Victorious. But that's my theory, that's not stone cold fact. He's a very successful creator. He was essentially the live-action equivalent to Klasky Csupo, who basically made the majority of Nickelodeon's 90s lineup, like Rugrats, As Told by Ginger, Wild Thornberrys, Our Monsters, and Rocket Power. I almost forgot the name for a second. I was just going to say The Rocket for some reason. Who the hell's The Rocket? But why now? Why would they decide just to get rid of him now? Well, maybe his shows weren't doing as well anymore. Every company is going through sort of a transitional phase because of the internet. Everyone's trying to move on to apps. Companies like Cartoon Network, Adult Swim are trying to have their own strange little approach to streaming, which I will never understand. Essentially, if you want to watch an episode of, let's say, I don't know, as a random example, Steven Universe on the Cartoon Network website, you wouldn't just put in a random amount of money, like $10 a month to watch whatever you want. No, you have to contact your internet provider. Why not just make it simple? Why? But we're in this weird transitional phase, and of course, everything is changing. Tons of companies and stores are going out of business because of companies like Amazon are making things so much more convenient. The postal services are going down because of emails. And of course, TV is going down. And many people believe there isn't that much time left for TV until streaming and internet completely take over in the world of entertainment. I don't even know what's going to happen to movie theaters. So maybe these changes are affecting more than we think. Perhaps maybe the ratings of Dan Schneider's shows. So, since his behavior hasn't changed, yet the ratings may have, and I know there's probably a way to look up ratings on the internet. I've tried multiple times, but Jesus. If there's a website that just tell you every show's ratings, and it give you like a side-by-side comparison of what's good and what's bad, that'd be great, please. But anyway, that's just my theory on the subject. Maybe his shows aren't doing as well, so they don't see as much of a reason to keep him. Or maybe another reason is that Nickelodeon's going through their own change. Companies will just sometimes randomly go through their own transitional phase, like maybe a new CEO, or maybe they have a different direction they want to take. They have been making more animated series as of late, and they have been revolving around more 90s nostalgia. Like with the Hey Arnold Jungle movie, the new Rocco special, the new Invader Zim special that are coming out. Even though Invader Zim, I think, came in the early 2000s, not the 90s. But anyway, what I'm saying is Nickelodeon's going through a change, and they're trying to adapt, and maybe they realize either they don't need Dan Schneider, or another possibility, and I highly doubt this considering how cheap these shows are, maybe they're coming to the conclusion that they don't want the live-action shows anymore. They want to focus purely on animation. Now, that I kind of doubt, because the live-action shows are so cheap, they're bound to get their money back no matter what. I mean, like, many people hate the live-action sitcoms on Nickelodeon and Disney Channel. Went back when Cartoon Network tried to do CN Real, despite the fact it was called Cartoon Network. But these shows are so cheap and easy to make, they're going to get their money back no matter what. It's sort of like back in the craze when, you know, the cartoon to movie phase is going on, like Recess the movie, Pokemon the movie. Those movies typically didn't have a big budget because they're basically just slightly higher quality from TV production. So, no matter what, they were going to get their money back. And I guess it's a similar ideology to the live-action shows that are going on here. Sorry for that brief silence. I almost knocked my bottle of water over, and I basically just had an aneurysm. Moving on. Now, as for what's going to happen now, I don't know. What's Dan Schneider going to do? I don't know. All I'm saying is, Nickelodeon's going through their own transitional phase, and so is every other company. The internet is literally changing everything at this moment. We're in this weird transitional period for entertainment, especially in the world of TV, animation, movies. Essentially, everyone's coming to the conclusion that streaming is the future, and they're not wrong. Streaming is definitely the way to go, but still people are trying to, try and see if they can change things up a bit, maybe seeing if they could bring people back to TV, or something along those lines. I am not entirely sure. But all I know is, Dan Schneider got fired. That means, all I know is, I wasn't even going to say anything. Didn't even have anything in my head. Why do I say these things? But with that being said, I'm not sure what's going to happen in the future. I know I think it's Henry Danger. Let me look this up, because I know I'm right on the page anyway, so, anyway. Okay, here. On March 26, 2018, Nickelodeon announced that it would not be extending its production deal with Schneider and Schneider's Bakery. In addition, the network also announced that Schneider's comedy Game Shakers will not be renewed for a 4th season. Schneider's remaining comedy Henry Danger, however, that's the show I was looking for. It will be renewed for a 5th season, so despite the fact that he's not there anymore, they're still going to continue at least one of his shows. Because I've heard Henry Danger is a big success for... maybe it is. I've heard that it's basically... it's doing alright from what I've heard. Which also makes me wonder if it's doing well. If Henry Danger is at least doing well, and... I don't know, maybe that disproves my whole theory of that why they kept Dan Schneider in the first place. Maybe Nickelodeon literally didn't know what was going on. I don't know, I doubt it. What do I know? I'm just a fucking 22-year-old emo kid who's just living in an apartment not knowing what to do with his life. Alright, so I recently just watched the Scooby-Natural Supernatural Special. I have never seen Supernatural before. This is the first time for me, and I already kinda love it. Now, I'm familiar with Scooby-Doo. I grew up with Scooby-Doo. I've been watching Scooby-Doo ever since I was just a little wee boy. But when I heard they were doing a crossover with Supernatural and Scooby-Doo for the very first time, I believe this was, late 2017 they announced it? I'm not 100% sure exactly when. I was like, alright, cool, sure. And then as soon as I saw the trailer, I'm like, I need this. Look, call me edgy all you want, but I feel like Scooby-Doo could really benefit from the idea of, I don't know, having actual supernatural elements, pun not, intended, actual supernatural elements inside the series. I mean, yeah, that kind of takes away from the whole idea of Scooby-Doo. Every monster is supposed to be just a guy in a suit. But I feel like that can make things a bit more interesting, and I feel like that leads to a lot more, I don't know, how do I put this? Not plot twist is not the word I'm looking for, but more story elements. More potential is the word I'm looking for. Like, every single time they had actual ghosts or actual supernatural elements in their either straight-to-TV movies, TV shows, it's always been fondly remembered. Zombie Island, the Mystery Incorporated TV show, fondly remembered. Maybe not everything. Maybe there's like one or two things that I'm not remembering that are just hated and also have a real-life supernatural... not real life. Just a supernatural element. But I don't know. With this generation, with the obsession of story-driven cartoons like Adventure Time, Steven Universe, Gravity Falls, Star vs. the Forces of Evil, and the 2017 DuckTales, I feel like Scooby-Doo is one of those series that could take advantage of that. And they almost did with Mystery Incorporated. But they didn't. Well, they did. But it ended way too soon, in my opinion. And then Be Cool Scooby-Doo came around and, oh boy, I always wanted to see what it would be like if Seth MacFarlane made Scooby-Doo. I'm sure no one's ever made that joke before, but can you blame me? Anyway, I'm not talking about Scooby-Doo as a whole. I'm talking about the Scoobynatural Special. Now, keep in mind, this is from someone who's never seen Supernatural before, so to see the episode start with either Dean or Sam fighting a giant plushy dinosaur with electric eyes just felt a little goofy. It was not the series I was expecting. I was expecting it to be super serious, no jokes whatsoever, until they got to the Scooby-Doo bits. I guess, I don't know, I've never seen Supernatural before, so maybe it was just an ill-formed judgment. I'm not going to do a full review right here, because I'm not that kind of YouTuber. I don't do reviews. So, if anyone wants to see like a synopsis of the plot, sorry, and trust me, I'm not going to be spoiling anything. Just anything that's seen within the trailers, I'll probably be talking about. Like the fact that there's actual gore and real-life consequences. Like, Shaggy breaks his arm at one point. which is something that I kind of like and is an example of what I feel like Scooby-Doo could eventually become. Now, I know that I kind of doubt that they're going to try and make a Scooby-Doo series with blood, and this special is probably just like a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But I would love it if Scooby-Doo tried to go into a similar route. They don't need blood or real-life violence. They don't need broken limbs. They don't need characters swearing up a storm. I'm just saying they could probably take notes from this special for the next Scooby-Doo adaptation. I say next because it's not if, it's when. It's kind of like wondering if there's going to be another Marvel superhero movie. It's not an if, it's when. I haven't watched that many Marvel movies. I've only seen Avengers. That's it. Oh, lordy. But if there's any, I will give some criticism towards the special, and this is from someone who was gushing about it the entire time he was watching it. I do feel as if that at the very end, when the Scooby Gang actually... You know what? No, that'd be spoiling. I'm sorry. I almost spoiled the ending. No spoilers, but here's the ending. Look at me. I'm professional. Anyway, they actually do something with the Scooby Gang that changes their minds about something in what seems to be a negative way, but I felt as if it could be a positive thing, but then they just went back on it at the very end. Like, what was the point? But I feel like if I explained it, it'd be spoiler territory, so yeah. Sorry! Anyway, funny thing is, when looking up this special, I was just trying to find a way to watch it on here on the computer. I was going to see if it was on Netflix, but then I just looked up Scoobynatural. It's on the CW website, which is cwtv.com, which just those letters didn't make me think it was the website for CW. It made me think it was one of those piracy websites like Kiss Cartoon and whatnot. Then I found out they had an app, I downloaded the app, then I looked in the computer again, oh, I could just watch it on the computer, there was no point in downloading this. Uninstall, delete, because I'm an idiot. Oh, Jesus. It was still a cute little special. I don't know if it's really going to add anything to the plot of Supernatural, now that I know the plot of Supernatural, that is. And I know it doesn't add anything to Scooby-Doo, because I think it's just meant to take place in the universe of the old cartoons, like the original, the 1950s. Was it the 1950s or 60s? I don't know. I actually don't remember when the Scooby-Doo TV show came to be. Anyway, but it wasn't taking place within a specific universe. When they were going into their world, they were going into an actual cartoon. They weren't going into another universe. So I guess that kind of confirms it doesn't affect the Scooby-Doo canon, like, at all. And that does open a lot of different possibilities. I thought for a second that they were going to kill off one of the Scooby-Doo characters, because they could have done that, since it wasn't really affecting any universe or any canon. Spoiler alert, the Scooby-Dang doesn't get killed. Not that that's technically a spoiler, that's kind of obvious. That was just more of a personal thing I thought was going to happen. So it's not really a spoiler, per se. Sorry, I just almost knocked over my bottle of soda. And also, sorry if it seems like I'm a little distracted. My dog's been going through a little bit of issues right now. She's been breathing heavily. She's not been moving that well. I'm not sure what's going on. I've been checking her out. And everything seems fine now, but just a thought in the back of my mind. I don't want to go to sleep and then wake up to find she's dead. That would freak me out. Now back to the actual topic. The special was cute. It was funny. It wasn't perfect, mind you. But it did what it served its purpose, and it definitely wasn't awful. Well, let's just say that. It was fun, and I definitely would watch it again if I was in the mood to watch it. But at the same time, I feel as if there's a lot of potential that comes with that. Not for Supernatural, but for Scooby-Doo. You know how, like, let's say there's a crossover or maybe a special that sort of sparks interest within something, and TV executives are like, oh, what if we bring it back, but in that fashion? They've done it multiple times. I can't think of any examples. I guess DuckTales is a good example, because they brought DuckTales back, but it's more in a similar vein to, like, Gravity Falls and Steven Universe. The fact it's more story-driven and whatnot. I feel like they could do the same thing with Scooby-Doo, not just a whole story-driven thing, but taking a similar approach to what the Scoobynatural series did. I also love how they kept the art style the same. They didn't do a big cop-out and just be like, oh, let's just do it in Flash. They fully animated it in what looks like a current version of the 1950 series. To me, it looks more like What's New Scooby-Doo. For those who don't know, in the early 2000s, they made sort of a reboot of Scooby-Doo called What's New Scooby-Doo. Sort of like, the new adventures of blank. Even though nowadays it's not really that new. It was, I don't see many people talking about Be Cool, not Be Cool Scooby-Doo, What's New Scooby-Doo. And to me, it was a pretty alright and serviceable series. It felt more like just a continuation of the 1950s series, more than an actual reboot. But, I remember watching it and enjoying it for what it was. It was I'll admit, when I was a kid, I was meh when it came to Scooby-Doo. I found the 1950s series boring. I found some of the straight-to-TV movies boring. I loved Cyber Chase. Don't judge me. I love What's New Scooby-Doo. And I love Mystery Incorporated. I feel like Scooby-Doo is a series that has a lot of potential, but I feel like a lot of companies don't go into that potential. They just kind of want to, copy and paste what the old series did. Which isn't inherently bad, but you still need to be experimental, especially when you're making a new adaptation with its own canon and own universe. Like Ninja Turtles. People may be complaining about Rise of the Ninja Turtles, being like, what's with Raph? Why is his arm so big? But I'm sure they'll warm up to it. Everyone made the same complaints about the 2012 CGI series. People even made similar complaints to the 2003 Teen Titans when that was new. So, I just have to wait and see when that comes out. We're not talking about Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. We're talking about Scooby-Doo. What the hell was I doing? No, we're not even talking about Scooby-Doo. We're talking about Scoobynatural. Jeez, I'm terrible at this. I don't see anyone being interested in these videos. I see them doing horribly. But, it's worth experimenting with, I guess. If they turn out to help my channel, maybe I'll keep doing them. Anyway, Scoobynatural. I give it a let's see, 2 Scooby snacks out of. This is why I script these things. Holy crap. Alright, so a while back I did a Hotel Pub 103 about the artwork for Rise of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Now I'm looking at a trailer. There's I think a 1-minute trailer. Hang on, let me go ahead and... I don't want to actually put the trailer inside this video. But I'm just using it as a reference. So please. No, stop! Anyway, the trailer came out. It's on a channel known as Terry Alec. I don't know if this is an official upload, but anyway, there's a trailer here, and man, look at those dislikes. It's got over, by the time I'm recording this, over 1,800 likes, but around 826 dislikes. That's more than, what? Almost 1/3. Jesus. And I know I'm going to sound like an asshole, but I feel like a lot of people are over-exaggerating about this. So, I saw the trailer. Alright, I have things I have to say. There are things I like, there are things I don't like. But I'm not going to say it's as bad as everyone else is making it out to be. No. And this isn't even coming from someone who's like a huge Ninja Turtles fan. This is more like a casual fan at best. Everyone's complaining mainly about the art, or as the comments would say, the animation. Look, I'm sorry, but most of those people don't know what animation is. Okay, here's the thing. There's a difference between art style and animation. Art style is how the characters are drawn. How they look. Animation is how the characters move. And yeah, there are some iffy moments in the animation, especially when just characters are talking, but the action scenes, I think, are animated pretty well. The art style, I can see where the complaints are coming. I don't think it's that bad. I like the sharp, angular edges, the thicker outlines, and the brighter colors. That's just me. The only thing I don't like are the mouths. The mouths look like bootleg anime catgirl mouths. That's the only thing I don't like. Change the mouths and it'd be perfect to me, but of course everyone has a different preference. The voices, okay, I can kind of understand that. We haven't gotten a lot of lines from that trailer, but yeah, the lines are I'm sorry, I didn't mean to burp. It just sort of happened. The voices, I'm an idiot right now, are gonna take some getting used to. And a lot of people, I've even seen one person in the comments say, oh, this is the Teen Titans Go of Ninja Turtles. No, Teen Titans Go is essentially a comedy. A random comedy that rarely ever has superhero elements. It doesn't have huge fight scenes, it's not centrally an action. This is clearly meant to be an action. And yeah, it's a lot more lighthearted. And this is coming from someone who loves it when series try to go dark. Call me edgy all you want, but I love that. But I'm just going to say this, I don't mind if they're going to the more goofy, lighthearted nature, as long as it's in its core still an action like they promised. I'm not even sure if they promised that. And what many people are forgetting is, everyone made the same complaints about the 2012 CGI Ninja Turtles. They're like, oh, why do they look different? Look at how bad they look. And then everyone began to love that version. It's too early to really say. We got a trailer, we got some animation bits, action scenes, some of the voices. And to me, the art is not... I think the art's fine. I like the art style. But, you know, that's subjective. And I'm going to put someone in the comments, well, objectively, you're wrong. You always got that one guy. I do have some... This is going to make me sound like a terrible person. I don't get April's redesign. Now, okay, I'm someone who loves the idea we're getting more diversity inside of things like animation and film and all of that. And this is going to make sound... Oh, geez. How do I put this? I don't completely understand the decision they had made. I know if I'm going to say one wrong word, everyone's going to call me a racist, alright? Now, everyone's going to call me the biggest racist of them all, no matter what I say. For those wondering, they turned April African American, which I have nothing against, alright? I'm just saying that right now. I'm more confused by the decision that led to that, alright? I'm not saying they should have never changed her race. That's fine. I don't care. I really don't. So please, everyone who's going to call me a racist, I am not. I really don't care. But I'm more curious about the decision that led to that. Whew. Please. I don't want people to think I'm a racist. It's difficult when you talk about this sort of stuff. One wrong word, and forever you'll be seen as a racist, sexist, or homophobe on the internet. God. I can make as many, evil, straight, white man jokes, because not many people are going to have, a tantrum over that. And I'm straight, white, and a male. I can make jokes about that. If you follow me on Twitter, I make jokes about that all the time. Recently, I made a post, jokingly, obviously, saying I have an idea for the next Mario. Have it be a narrative story adventure starring Princess Peach, who is now a lesbian, and the villain is Mario because he's the evil cisgender straight white man. And it was obviously meant to be a joke. And I didn't get any rude comments from it. And I don't think anyone reacted to it, actually. It just kind of floated on onto the internet, into the digital sea where no one else could ever see it. But I guarantee you, if I had the same amount of followers as PewDiePie, at least one person would have had a tantrum. Oh, by the way, the joke was not just meant to be about that. It was also meant to be about how PlayStation nowadays is more favoring these narrative story games. How they basically turned the God of War into The Last of Us. I almost called it The God of Us. You might as well at this point. But I feel like no matter what I say, I feel like I already put myself into a hole, so I'm just gonna move on. The only design I really, really don't like is Splinter. He looks like a hamster. They did done him dirty. They did him dirty. I mean, maybe they changed the personality to the point where it fits the character art. I don't know. Clearly they changed some character personalities. They've already said how Raph is going to be more the leader this time around. Leo, this version, since of course he's not the leader, he needs a new personality quirk. I'm kind of meh with this one. I like it, but I also hate it. They decided to try and make him more this egotistical character who's always shooting jokes, but But I feel like these wisecracking character fits more for Mikey, not Leonardo. But making him more egotistical, making sort of like the Deadpool or Sonic of the team, that'd be fine. And maybe that's what they're aiming for. I mean, he is blue. Honestly, we don't know. I don't know that much about it yet. They changed the weapons. That seems to be one of the other big complaints. And I already talked about this the last time when I talked about the art. And I don't mind if they change the weapons. I feel like it's actually kind of appropriate they change the weapons. And not for like maturity or anything else like that, but because if you stick to the same weapons all the time, there's only so much you can do with those weapons. So I feel like giving them new weapons could give them like a new coat of paint. No, I don't know. Let's say this is gonna be a weird example. Okay, here. No, I don't even need to make an example to justify it. Here's the thing. When you think of the Ninja Turtles weapons, they are iconic for their series, but they aren't like so iconic that they're like Buster Sword from Final Fantasy VII or Omnitrix from Ben 10 iconic. So switching them around to me isn't that much of a huge deal, especially since their new weapons are similar to what they have had before. Like Raphael, Sais are gone and are now replaced by these wooden baton things, but they're still used in a similar way. And Michelangelo, he doesn't have his nunchucks anymore. He has this dodgeball thing, a tetherball looking thing. And I guess that also works in a similar sense because that's used in a similar way, but it has more range. So the new weapons still have somewhat of a spirit of the older ones, but they just have slight changes that can completely change the battlefield. I'm trying to be as optimistic as possible. It's really colorful, I will say that. Sometimes I do feel like, alright, calm down. Calm down there. You don't need that. I get this is the 2010s, and having everything be extremely colorful is sort of the new thing. But calm down. I do sort of like it. It gives sort of like this neon feel. But in a good and a bad way. Sometimes it just feels like the entire city is lit up by one big black light. Or pink light, or whatever. When really they could have just had like neon signs and whatnot. I don't know. I'm most likely still going to be in New York. I mean, like, it's New York. They're not going to... They could change it. I don't know. Maybe to Los Angeles or something like that. A similar city-like area. Dallas, Texas. As a random example. But there wouldn't be that much of a point in changing it because there's still a lot in New York that you can explore. Especially since the series is mainly in sewers, right? And sometimes over top of the sewers, so they haven't touched everything in New York. I don't know. I understand a lot of people's concerns, but a lot of people are writing this off as like, oh, it's a bad show. It's bad. Go to your room. Go to your room. Rise of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Go to your room. But I feel like it's too soon. I feel like we actually need some episodes. That's the mistake of judging stuff based on art or trailers and all of that, is that you'll never get the full experience from the trailers or just the artwork. You need to actually see it yourself. And to just write it off from like tiny changes that could, in the long run, mean nothing. I mean, yeah, some of the changes are big and they could make things worse, hypothetically, but it's too early to say. It depends. Some decisions we can't really say for sure until we see them fully in action or mixed with other decisions. At least that's what I think. When's it coming out? Did they have a release date? Hang on, let me go to this trailer. It just says coming soon. It just says coming soon, so I don't know. Maybe it'll be good. I don't know. Alright, so by the time you're watching this, probably like at least one other episode is out, maybe. But today's the day a new My Hero Academia episode came in. It was the first of Season 3, the pool episode. And I'm not going to be talking about that episode in particular. I'm going to be talking about My Hero Academia in general. Now, of course, My Hero Academia, the anime series, came in 2016, right? Hang on, let me move my mic. I think it's a little far off. But I didn't start watching it until Season 2 came around in 2017. So, of course, I had a bunch of other episodes to watch before Season 2 came about. I had to catch up with everyone else, which are only like 12 to 13 episodes anyway, so it wasn't too hard. I absolutely love the idea of it. You see, I've noticed one thing about shonens, especially Shonen Jump shonens, is that a lot of them have a certain theme they want to go into. My Hero Academia is obviously superheroes, One Piece is pirates, Naruto is ninjas, and so on and so on. They have this theme, and they just make more characters and possibilities surrounding that rather expandable theme. It makes me wonder what they can do next. And I guess it's another reason I don't hate Black Clover as much as like the internet does. It's mainly because we finally have that more magical series. You know, Fairy Tail was always more of the magic wizard shonen series, but Shonen Jump didn't have one of those. So, I still think, I don't hate Black Clover as much as everyone else does. In fact, I'll probably do a Hotel Pup for that one too. But I don't love My Hero Academia just because of the superheroes. I love it because of how unique it is. And I know so many other people have talked about how different My Hero Academia is. I know how many people have talked about, like, all the different powers, how it changes shonen as a whole, which is great. But I feel like I love My Hero Academia for other reasons. I feel like my main thing is that they get to the point right away. A lot of series, they like to dawdle around certain things. They like to go around and be like, could this thing happen? And then Izuku Midoriya just burst through the door and be like, yes, and it just did happen. As All Might says, I am here. I also love all the personality. It's so colorful, yet also, it's not the kind of colorful I hate. Well, a lot of people, they think colorful is like, everything has to be color-coded. This character should represent red. This one should be blue. This one should be a green. But I mean colorful as in, like, the characters' personalities, and yeah, some of them are tropes, I will say that, like the rather strict, rule-abiding citizen, law-abiding citizen like Tenya Ida, the standard comedic perv like Mena, don't know how to pronounce his name. Shut up. But the characters still get the attention they deserve so that they're more than just tropes. And if you look at the manga, which I've been looking at the manga too, there's a lot more ways that these characters are expanded upon. For what we have so far, we've gotten characters like Midoriya, Todoroki, Bakugo, Momo, Ida, and in some cases Yoraraka. They've all gotten proper development. But other characters in the manga got more development as well. As you're probably going to see inside this new camp arc. What is his name? Tokiyama is going to get some development as well. Inside the recent one, I'm not good at her. The one with the headphones, what's her name? Jiraiya? No. Jesus, I'm sorry. I'm not good with names. They're all Japanese names, which I'm not saying that's bad. Nightmare Police. Oh no, don't tell me she's gonna bark. Jiro. I knew it started with a J. Oh my, give me a minute. Now, other characters also get a bit more developments too, and that's what I like. And that's one thing I dislike about Fairy Tail. Now, I love Fairy Tail. I don't care what anyone says. Go ahead and be like, oh, well, you're trash because you have a different opinion. I recognize its flaws, and I feel like one of the biggest issues I have is that they have all these side characters like Jet, Droy, Makao, but they rarely ever give them any attention. They just center the attention to Natsu, the main cast, and only a few side characters who are pretty much main characters at this point, like Laxus and Gajiel. Even though I feel like Laxus and Gajiel have gotten more development and character progression than even the main cast. But that's a topic for another day. I love how My Hero Academia gives attention to its characters, and while the focus, yes, is primarily on Izuku Midoriya, it's not, to the point where the other characters don't matter and they're just there for moral support. Golly. I also love how the superpowers they have aren't just, oh, your typical super speed, your typical super strength. There are different variations, like Tenya Ida, he'd be the standard Flash-like character. He has super speed, but it's different with the fact that he has jet boosters, and the fact that he can't, that these powers have limits too, that's another thing. He can't constantly keep going or he'll make himself stall like a real engine would. And also, these powers don't have like a super complicated process in how to use them, they're treated like natural physical abilities. In my opinion, you don't need like a whole thing like chakra or magic being like, center with yourself, find your aura, or whatever. Just treat it like a normal physical ability. At least that's how I see it. I mean, yeah, maybe like on a special technique, they could do something like that, especially if their ability is more spirit-based. Like, let's say there's a ghost-based quirk user in My Hero Academia. That would fit for that kind of character. But what I'm saying is that, like, the whole center your aura, or whatever, the power of friendship, or something along those lines. They're just physical abilities, and just like regular physical abilities, they can tire out. That's what I absolutely adore. Now, if you want my favorite character, despite the fact I forgot her name, I'd say it's Jiro. I love her design, and I really wish she would be given more attention. She is sort of given more attention in the current manga arc. It's a cultural festival that they're in the current manga arc, and she's given some attention, even if it's not through combat. But I guess that's the good thing, too. They're not given character development the same way. It's not like, there's a hard battle, a struggle. I have to look within myself and be like, I am here, plus ultra, or something along those lines. Look at me. There's just so much to like about My Hero Academia, but I feel like we've only scratched the surface about why it works so well. Ooh. That's a lot. There's also going to be a lot of My Hero Academia products coming out this year. There's, of course, Season 3, the new movie, and the video game One's Justice, which I am excited for. I hope it actually gets, what's the term? I was going to say legalized for whatever reason. Localized, that's the word. Oh, we got to legalize My Hero Academia. I hope they do localize it. A lot of anime games have been getting more and more localized. I don't know whether or not, like, it's a change and localizing games has become easier, or maybe, like, Namco has just found a technique to localizing games. I don't know. But back then, we used to never get anime games. But nowadays, we can. And we've been getting a lot more. Some are getting more and more localized. And I can understand why it'd be an issue. Licensing is a problem. But I guess nowadays it's still a problem, but not as much of a problem as it was back then. It's still a very prominent issue, and it can get in the way of licensing and localization, but it's definitely gotten better in some regards. I remember there was one game, I think it was on the PS Vita, it featured Supersonico, whatever you want to call her. I think that game was specifically made to test licensing and localization. If I'm wrong, correct me. I don't mind being corrected when I'm wrong. Oof. All I'm saying is, the only thing I don't like about the My Hero Academia game so far is that it looks polished, don't get me wrong, visually speaking, but I don't know. Something irks me, and I can't explain it. I don't know. Oof. I think the problem is how the characters are stylized. I feel like they have more like, sort of like a cel-shaded look. Here, the characters just look, how do I put this? Cheap, is what I guess I'm trying to say. But anyway, I'm still excited that we're getting a My Hero Academia game on PS4 and Switch. I don't know if eventually going to make it over to the Xbox One. The Xbox One isn't that big in Japan, that's why they don't get that. Now, let's get back to the actual topic, My Hero Academia. What would I say? What's your... whenever I go ahead and bring up things like my favorite scenes and characters, you guys are free to put yours in the comments below. I know I keep forgetting to ask that. The reason I don't do that very often is because I don't want to be like that a BuzzFeed kind of YouTuber where she's like, what's your favorite character? Put him down in the comments below. Because it just sounds bland when I do that. I don't know, when many people like BuzzFeed or WatchMojo do the whole, what's your favorite blank? Put it in the comments. It just sounds very scripted, I guess I could say. It just doesn't sound interesting. Like, people should just put their thoughts in the comments. They don't need to be requested to put their thoughts in the comments. If you have ideas or different arguments, debates, or you want to share your thoughts, you should be able to, whether or not it's requested. So, if you guys have your own thoughts, you can put that down too. And it's not like I'm going to ignore it. I love to read comments. It's one of my favorite things about uploading the video is the feedback. But anyway. Oof. What was my I was going to say my favorite character, but I already have described it. It's Jiro. But I guess I also like Kaminari, because he's just a goofball, and I like me my goofballs. Oh, Jesus. All the characters are just fun in My Hero Academia. Tokiyama, Todoroki, Bakugo, Ochako, Uraraka, Tenya Ida, Midoriya, All Might, Aizawa. They're all fun characters. And I'm glad that the series is successful as it is, and I'm glad it's getting a third season. I also like what they're doing. They're not doing the whole, let's try and force ourselves to have cheap animation so we could do a weekly schedule, like things like One Piece and Dragon Ball Super do. Because that causes them to catch up to the manga too quickly. That causes them to have way too much filler. The way My Hero Academia does it builds more hype, more high quality animation, which I know animation is important, but I still believe stories should be treated separately. So even if it had bad animation, I still feel as if My Hero Academia would still be talked about as much as it is now. But I think this is an approach that some other people should take when it comes to that. Unless you know your series is going to have a direct beginning and end. That's why I like Soul Eater, the anime series. It only had about 50 episodes, almost a whole year's worth of episodes. But it came in a weekly schedule, and I think the reason it worked the way it is because they had a beginning and end. I think Soul Eater, the anime, was being made during the manga's running time. I hope they make sort of like a Soul Eater, a Brotherhood, kind of like, Fullmetal Alchemist Brotherhood. I feel like they should try and make a Soul Eater in that fashion. Be a full recreation of the manga that never got to be. Now, my favorite scene from My Hero Academia. Ooh, it's a tough one. I like a lot of the scenes that happen. Midoriya versus Todoroki. The Stain fight. Let's see. I think I like moments where multiple characters' quirks are seen. Kind of like that race at the beginning of that tournament arc. Or, I guess a free-for-all. I can't wait for... There's a part in the manga, I forgot what what the arc is specifically called, but there's a part where multiple different schools are coming together and fight for, I think a sidekick license or some kind of license. But it involves sort of this free-for-all moment. And I just can't wait. I know it's going to take a while for that to be released or made, that specific part in the manga. It's not in this arc that's going to be in the third season. Probably fourth, maybe even fifth. I think fourth, maybe. Because I didn't expect them to catch up to the whole... They're teasing the fight between All For One and All Might, which I think they might go over. They might do a whole, season 2 again, where they have, the first half, which is, 13 episodes, and then a second half, which is also 13 episodes, or something along those lines, and have the first one be the camp, and have the second one be the fight between All Might and All For One. Which is also one of my favorite moments in the manga, too. Ugh. Alright, so I typically don't make rant videos based on things that I hate. And in fact, this is a podcast, not a rant series, but I guess with the way it's set up from different podcasts usually going for an hour or more, this is 10 minutes an episode, I guess I can make an exception a few times. But the reason I like talking about hate videos or anything else in that nature is because I don't like getting mad on camera. Not because of the whole, I'm afraid to say something that I'll regret. That's not what I'm afraid of. Because I can edit that out. And secondly, even when I get really mad, I primarily still remain respectable or whatever. I typically don't say things I regret even when I'm mad. I say my point of view, and I do say sometimes maybe I could have put that in a different way, but you don't hear me shouting out things like the N-word or anything else like that. Well, like a lot of YouTube streamers. Anyway, moving on. I've decided I'm going to completely abandon political correctness. And here's the thing, a big common misconception that comes with people who lack political correctness. We are not people who don't care about respecting others. We have standards. People who lack political correctness are not racist, sexist, homophobic, and typically we won't go ahead and shout the N-word. We won't go ahead and make sexist remarks unless it's someone who actually is racist, sexist, or homophobic, but that's completely different from political correctness, or being unpolitically correct. Being unpolitically correct is, challenging views and expectations, with crude humor and, like jokes like dead babies, ha ha, very funny. I think a clip from the classic YouTuber series Duckman is able to explain it better than me.
All prepackaged, the least offensive, most appealing alternative. But it's precisely when humor is offensive that we need it most. Comedy should provoke. It should blast through prejudices, challenge preconceptions. Comedy should always leave you different than when it found you.
The rebel seems roused.
Sure, humor can hurt, even alienate. But the risk is better than the alternative. A steady diet of innocuous, childproof, flavorless mush. Demand to be challenged, to be offended, to be treated like thinking, reasoning adults, and raise your children to be the same. Don't let a comedian, a network, a congressional committee, or an evil genius take away your freedom to laugh at whatever you want.
Now, of course, that mainly goes on about comedy, but I think it also qualifies in this example. So recently, League of Legends revealed a new character named Kasai, the Daughter of the Void. And yeah, I do think she is appealing. She has, and I can see where some people are coming from when they make this statement. In some cases, they say the character is sexualized. Sure, okay, she has tight clothing and cleavage, but to call her over-sexualized, that's different. And the reasons people have are, of course, like, oh, she has skin-tight clothing. That means they're being sexist and that they're over-sexualizing the character. You don't know how many video game characters or female characters in fiction have skin-tight clothing? Samus Aran, Lara Croft, Poison Ivy, who's a literal dominatrix inside Soul Calibur. And you're going to make a big fuss about this character? Bayonetta literally flaunts herself on screen in combat. And you're going to get mad over a simple character because she has skin-tight clothing and cleavage? It's like getting mad at a fandom over fan art. Something that every fandom is known for. I don't understand where people are coming from. And some sources are even talking about, oh, it's bad because of her neckline. What the hell's wrong with her neckline? And I know some people are probably going to say, well, it sets up false expectations to what the woman body should be. No. Video games don't do that. Video games are escapism. They allow us to get out of, sick reality and go into worlds we've never been to before. What you're referring to are magazines like Playboy. I think that's the biggest problem that comes with patches and all that. You rarely ever saw people complain about Lara Croft, Samus Aran, or Poison Ivy back when they were first introduced, or like in the early 2000s or something like that. But now it's all of a sudden a big problem. And I know as soon as Metroid Prime 4 comes out, people are going to make a big fuss like, oh, Samus is sexualized. They made statements about Samus in Super Smash Bros. For Wii U and 3DS because of the whole Jet Booster heals. Saying, oh, it's sexualized because she has heals now. Even though they're Jet Boosters. And they're used for attacks. But, whatever. Give me a minute. Let me take a deep breath. See, this is what I'm talking about when I say I don't normally do hate videos. I get myself out of breath. But anyway. People will go ahead and do that. I guarantee it. I'm kind of shocked I'm not hearing anything about Poison Ivy for Soul Calibur. I think it's 6. I'm sorry, I don't play Soul Calibur. But that's the problem with patches nowadays. Ever since patches got introduced, things are mainly used to fix bugs, make the game better, balance out fighters. I feel like some players end up using patches as a personal advantage to be like, oh, this character has they look tired in their face, you better change it with a patch. Remember back in the PS2 days and the Xbox days and the GameCube days when no game had patches minus some PC stuff back then? And even then, there weren't that many patches for many PC games. if a character had like an ugly face or something like that because of the polygons, we basically just had to deal with it. And yeah, there were some people who made comments about it, but to be like, you need to change this in later versions. Guess what? That would mean they had to make like a definitive version of the game. And while that sounds appealing, you're gonna make a definitive version just to change a character's face. But nowadays, because patches are a thing, people think that it's like something you can fix in like a day and release it in that same day. That's not how patches work, though. I remember when Street Fighter V came out, when it came to a certain character, I believe, I don't know which character it was, but I think it was also a female character. People were like, oh, but this character looks tired. I hope they fix it through a patch. Who the hell cares? Is it really going to be so much of a distraction for you that you're not going to be able to play the game? Oh, I'd really be more invested, but this character just looks a little off to me. I hope they fix it through a patch so I can be more invested. It's like the people who complain about those realistic narrative games and when you're going through a cave, their hand isn't gliding through the walls or whatever. You know what I mean? When like, in something like The Last of Us, if Joel ends up going close to a wall and he walks forward, his hand gets on the wall and slides on it. You know, as if, like, a realistic person would, which kind of defeats the purpose of video games, but whatever. I don't hate The Last of Us. I just feel like that's a good example of what I'm referring to. Oof. But I feel like it's because of patches. People feel as if they make enough of an uproar, then, because, you know, even if it's the vocal minority, and I'm sure the company knows it's the vocal minority, they're still making a bit of an uproar enough to affect their game, at least in their perception. So of course they're going to bend over backwards for them and make the changes that they feel as if are quote-unquote necessary or appropriate. And I really hope that doesn't happen to Kasai. I have a feeling that it is. They're going to completely change her design. They're going to give her a complete overhaul. Or, you know, I don't mind if they close the cleavage, because honestly, unlike a lot of these people who are making an uproar, I don't give a shit about the cleavage. But if they're going to completely change the design of the character, that's going too far, because there was nothing wrong with the design. But it's over-sexualized. Explain. Explain how Kasai is more over-sexualized than any other League champion. See, you can't. Because guess what? These other characters have features that people would perceive as over-sexualized, but it's just a design. Get over it. Like I said, Katarina has an exposed stomach. Jinx is just wearing shorts and a top. And one of Ari's attacks is about attracting people towards her. And you're going to complain about this. It's like when people all of a sudden started complaining about Apu from The Simpsons. Was the name Apu? Or Abu? Jesus, I never watched The Simpsons, but I know this uproar happened recently. It's Apu, yeah. Like, Apu's been here in The Simpsons since the very beginning, right? But now, all of a sudden, in 2018 and 17, people are like, oh, Apu's offensive. How? In the same way he was acting for the past 20 years? But now, all of a sudden, it's a problem. You know, here's the thing. I don't want to... I really hate people like this. I really do. And here's the biggest solution. If you really have so much of a problem with a design that you're going to make so much of an uproar, guess what? There are literally dozens of other video games you can play. It's just like when you get mad at a YouTuber for making like a dead babies joke. I used that example God knows how many times now. But if you really have so much of a problem with like a YouTuber's sense of humor, when it's clearly not really offensive, they're not shouting racial slurs, they're not shouting things that are sexist or homophobic. They're making, once again, things like dead baby jokes or decapitation jokes or something like that. Or even, I don't know, it's just other examples that are clearly crude, but not necessarily offensive. And yeah, there are people who go through that kind of stuff. There are people who have lost their children, and that's unfortunate. But if we had to, you know, go ahead and base humor off of that, we won't be able to joke about anything. Like, oh, this one time I broke my leg. Do you realize how many people break their legs? Okay, I guess I can't make broken leg jokes. This one time I got a fever and I really thought I was gonna die. People died of fevers all the time. You're being offensive. No, shut the hell up. That's the kind of stuff I hate. And if I ever got bigger as a content creator, and I started releasing more story-driven content, people made those accusations. You know what? I don't care how many people are going to go ahead and say I'm an asshole. I would just tell them to suck it up, Cupcake. There are far worse problems out there, and you're going to focus on a piece of media made by a 22-year-old goth kid? Ugh. You wanna explain yourself, Missy?
I don't have anything to explain.
Yes, you do. No, don't do it again. Stop. You see, you don't deserve it. It backfired. I only have so much vodka too, you bitch. It's okay. Well, so what happened?
It's gonna fall on your phone.
Oh, no it won't. Okay. What happened was, for my birthday, my mom decided to get me this alcohol dispenser. And it's like a little boy peeing. You push the button, he pees alcohol. What does my sister do immediately as soon as she comes in, sees it, just presses the button immediately, sprays everywhere. Sprays on the keyboard. And then as soon as I start recording, she aims it towards me, intending to hit me with some of it, and she just hits herself. You idiot. Honestly.
Oh God, don't choke on that dick.
I can't help it. Jesus, I invited my sister over to record some Hotel Pub 103s because I knew shit like this would happen. Yes, I know.
It's
I know.
ASMR.
It's an ASMR.
ASMR. We need more noise. Does it sound like rain? Does it sound like rain?
Just don't. Jesus, I'm gonna have to edit that. Jesus, you made a whole block. Oh, Jesus, fuck. This was a mistake. And you said you wouldn't have anything to say. Oh my God. Holy fuck. Why? You do realize no one can see this? You're gonna break my headphones. You do realize it's just an audio thing and no one can see what you're doing?
I know, I just wanted to kill you.
She gets my headphones and wraps them around my neck and tries to fucking strangle me with them.
Heidi! Come in here!
Please!
Come in here!
Come on! Come here, child. You're making it interesting.
Come here!
You can have fun with us. We're having a blast in here, honestly.
What are those?
Mustache. They came from that, like, paper, pizza box.
I'm gonna knock your printer off the edge.
Don't.
Because my... Oh, Lordy.
I should use that. Wow, that was beautiful. Well, actually,
Right there, that's my burp.
I see it. We see it in the audio waves. You can tell she's new to this. I literally she didn't even know what a podcast was when I told her what we were doing.
I've watched Shane Dawson, like at the beginning of his videos, he does like I did a podcast. Blah, 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 blah. I've never actually listened to a podcast before.
Oh, you should. Some of them are actually really good.
Yeah.
There's a lot of them out there. Nearly everyone does them now. And they're really easy because literally we just do this and slap a either repeating video or image on top and boom.
But what if you don't have any good content?
You think this is good? Honestly, I just do this for shits and giggles at this point. I'm not even sure if this will work. How do I know my computer's not going to shut down by the fact that you actually just made a little boy pee alcohol on it?
It'll be fine.
I hope so. I already had to replace a keyboard because last year I made a similar mistake. I spilled alcohol all over this stupid thing. So, and this is back when this was a rent to own. I had to pay like $90 a month. I didn't decide not to tell anyone. Drive down to Walmart immediately and get an exact replica. These are like $10 at Walmart. And I bought two just in case. You know, in case something like this happens. Oh, by the way, it did. God, we should have made this a visual thing. I should just turn the camera on instead of having it. You guys just missed it. Oh my God. We already just wasted 5 minutes just being assholes too. This should just be one of the hotel pubs. My sister's a dick.
Well, I mean, gotta be honest.
Well, you are what you don't eat, I guess, in this sense. This... Yeah, I'm gonna have to edit that too. This will be loud as shit. She's looking at the sound waves, just messing with them. Didn't you go to college for sound? This should be nothing new.
This is what I did in college, too.
What, you going to college for what, philosophy now?
No. Psychology.
Whatever. Same shit.
Not the same shit, trust me.
Explain then.
I don't have anything to explain.
Yes, you do.
Because I don't understand philosophy.
Well, then tell me
But
what
to
psychology
be everything,
is.
you must be a cat, because cats are everything.
No. It's to be perfect.
To be perfect.
Yeah, that was the weirdest shit. You told me that one of your teachers sent you as a test a bunch of, like, those things, and one of them was literally just to be perfect. You must be a cat, because cats are perfect.
Cats are everything. I feel like this is giving me more brain power, and now I can think faster, so I have more to say. Did you know that 3 + 4 is 6? 6?
Okay. You do realize, once again, no one can see you put that plastic brain
Yeah, I
on
know,
your
but
head.
you can see me.
That's true. That's true. She's taking my advice. She said she was going to be nervous about doing this because, about turning on the microphone and all, and I told her, just have conversations with me. I didn't think it would go like this, where I have to literally describe everything you do, like a children's book. Turn the page.
On page
And then
2.
Mena picked up the brain. But then she found out it was stained. Turn the page. Mena met Jack. He was filled with alcohol. He made him pee all over my keyboard.
We should just read the Bible like an audiobook.
I have a mini Bible here somewhere from my days when I was a Christian.
Christian.
Yeah, I was, the older videos, like back when this channel first started as Gothic Slender. Don't look at my stuff, please. It's embarrassing. She was good. There's not safe for work content in that I don't even want the world to see. I got the little bibble. It's a tiny little thing.
And on the first day.
And on the first day of Christmas that Jesus gave to me.
The book of the generation of Jesus Christ.
Oh.
Superstar. Who the hell's Abraham? Begat?
Oh, that's his
Abraham
middle name.
Begat Isaac, and Isaac begat Jacob, and Jacob begat Judas and his brethren. Hey! What does begat mean? What does begat mean?
Don't yell.
You're an asshole.
Heidi, can you come here so we don't have to yell and basically destroy the microphone?
You can't destroy that microphone.
Yeah, you can.
No, you can't.
It's called blowing it out.
It takes a lot more than that to blow out a
Like,
microphone.
well, just in case. I want this...
What does begat mean?
Begat means you're an asshole.
We're reading the Bible.
Yeah, this is our Bible reading class now.
Why
Featuring
is she
Nightmare.
growling at me?
Because nobody likes you.
Where can I sit?
Everybody
Move the
hates
box.
you. I guess you should go eat worms.
Stand the box up. On the floor, I mean. Not on the bed, but okay. Do what you need. Just don't let Nightmare on, because she pees on the bed.
So what are we going to talk about? I don't know what to talk about.
Well, this was basically an entire episode all to itself. Holy fuck.
This should have been scripted.
You don't script podcasts. It kind of kills it.
Should have.
And people will tell it's scripted. And then I made the story, and then I dry humped a camel. And then Morty. Have you ever watched Rick and Morty?
No.
You should. It's a good show. Season 3 was a little meh. You're learning from Rick already.
I know something about Swoogity Swooty, I'm coming for the booty.
That's not from Rick and Morty.
What is that?
Sweetie Spooty, I'm coming for the booty? I don't know where that is from, actually. I know it's not from Rick and Morty. I know from Rick and Morty it's Wubba Lubba Dub Dub. And I'm Pickle Rick!
This is Rodney. He's a lifeguard from Ocean City, Maryland. It's his job to save people from boredom.
Don't worry, ma'am. Ocean City isn't far.
With a famous boardwalk, 11 miles of beach, and a whole lot more, Ocean City, Maryland is the perfect way to breathe life back into your life.
Boredom can sneak up on you without any warning. You just gotta be careful out there.
Visit OCOcean.com or call 800-OC-OCEAN.
Alright, I remember when we were kids, our main vacation spot was always Ocean City. Okay.
I thought there was more to the sentence.
I was waiting for your confirmation so that people know that you're here.
I'm here. Hello. Hello. Hello.
We went to Ocean City nearly every year for the longest time. And my earliest memory was, remember the old motel we used to go to, the really old green one?
It was not green.
I don't know what color it was.
It was yellow, and it was next to the big pink hotel.
Oh, that's still there. The pink hotel's still there. The motel's not.
They leveled. Tis gone. What's that?
Oh, that's a notification. No, you can't touch the screen. It's not a touchpad, you fool.
I thought it was touchscreen.
No, it's not. Oh my god. Anyway, you think I had the mouse here if I could do that? No. Anyway, my earliest memory at that point in time was how both of us almost fucking drowned. And every single time we would go to Ocean City, I would get dunked underwater by the waves. And I think it caused like a phobia of mine. Not necessarily a phobia of the ocean, but more of a phobia of waves. Stop fucking with the brain.
Sorry.
It's distracting. But anyway, all I remember is Mum was inside the motel getting something. Pop-Up was in the ocean with us, but he wasn't paying attention. And I decided to go out to the deep end, and I made one wrong step. I ended up inside one of those potholes, and I started drowning. Like, oh, and every single time I get back up, I don't know what the hell they're called.
You get drowned in a pothole, Zach.
No,
potholes are on the fucking road, man.
those dips of sand.
It's a riptide or some shit like that.
Yeah, whatever. Who cares? Riptide.
Well, you at least get a little bit closer to talk about the goddamn.
This makes it fun. Hi. Do you have any thoughts of Ocean City?
No.
No. Okay.
Heidi likes to get drunk there and fall face first into the ocean.
Did that happen?
That did happen.
Yep, that did happen. Also, I fell straight forward into sand.
Wow. Good job, Heidi.
Very drunk. Very drunk. Much
Very
drunk.
Well, anyway, what happened was that I started drowning. So my sister, who was not much bigger than me at that point, which shocking, I know there was a point that she was bigger than me. She tries to save me, and then she ends up in the same situation. She too ends up bobbing in the ocean. What happens? Oh, you know who saved us? A complete stranger. A random old lady just picks us up like two Vietnam soldiers who just went down and marches us back to the beach. Mom just comes back crying like, I didn't know what would happen, and she was more concerned about getting in trouble with Mom than our actual lives. The hell is that?
There are holes in the ocean. That could have been what we were in.
That big ass thing? Oh, You know how pathetic I am? It probably would be like 10 times smaller.
You would have drowned. You could have drowned in a puddle.
Probably.
Apparently a puddle.
Every single time I go to the ocean ever since, I have a fear of like going into the water in the ocean.
I'm okay with drowning.
Really? Your lungs, it would get really painful because your lungs would be continuously filled with water.
I'd rather get drowned than get eaten by a shark.
Very true, you know? And push comes to shove, but there's more likeliness of being killed by a cow than a shark. Okay. I don't know what you just did there. You want some vodka?
No.
Alright, okay. Sovereign.
Wouldn't want to spill it all over your computer again.
That was you. You're the one who made my little boy pee on the computer.
It wouldn't have been so funny if you wouldn't have been like, Jesus, Mina, what the fuck?
Well, how did you expect me to react? Like, gee golly bee, Mina, this was sure a grand adventure. Holy hell. Stop leaning on the printer, you're gonna break it. Anyway, we used to also go to this under 21... Stop it. She's rubbing the brain on the micro. This was a mistake.
I wanted to be like ASMR. ASMR.
Why don't you describe what H2O was?
A big cesspool of teenagers in sweat.
Seriously, please, for the audience.
That's what it is.
It's an under 21 club.
No,
And
it's an under 18 club. So there's a bunch of children.
basically, pedophiles galore. And we almost couldn't get in because we forgot our IDs.
Because you had to prove that you were over 14 and under 18, and we couldn't prove.
We did prove that all they really did was ask when we were born. So we could have just had any random number, as long as it was, like, within the age group. But anyway, that was a fun time. We had a foam party, and I don't think Taylor minds if we mention her. Do you think?
I don't think so.
Okay. Well, okay, Taylor, you're in this now. We had they had a foam event going on, and you describe what happened to Taylor as you
She
did.
almost drowned in the foam. She was there, and then she wasn't there.
You really need to go into more detail with these things.
That's pretty much what happened.
Well, yeah, you need to make it more enticing. You need to say something like, the foam just came down onto Taylor.
She nearly died!
You're pretty close on how you should do it. You just need a little more oomph. Take
Oof! She nearly died.
it. Oof! Mario from Mario 64 came in. He ran into the foam. Oof! Oh my god. All I know is it was at that point in time I was 15 years old. So I was like, oh, I need to be in a relationship. So this one girl, I ended up dancing with this girl. And I don't know what happened after that. I don't know why I talked about that. Just making conversation. Do you have any stories, Ocean City?
Heidi doing acid.
Does that... you just said that she did acid on the microphone.
Like, why would you put that out there?
Well, it is a past story.
It's a story!
Yeah, that is true.
And technically, since you don't do acid now, do you?
No.
No. Okay, good. So, since you said it was a past story, it shouldn't affect you.
So Heidi was a little messed up. You edit it, right?
Yes.
Okay, well then just take out the part about the acid.
I might not remember.
She drank apple juice. A little bit too much apple juice. And got tickety turn.
Turn on apple juice.
We got to the Ocean City, and her friend were so tickety turn, figgity fucked up.
Rickety rick.
On the apple juice.
You sound like those people trying to relate to kids. Yo, kids, it's not cool to bully, yo.
It's apple juice. Because we're tickety turn. Figgity fucked up. Figgity fucked up. Anyway. So...
Yo, what is your problem?
Stop fucking with the printer.
Would
the
you
noises are too loud.
The list of problems, Heidi, or just the one problem? Because there's a whole bunch of them.
Very true.
At the top of the list, I'm still breathing.
Not wrong.
But anyway, we got to a hotel, and Heidi got out of the car, and her friend, whom shall not be named,
Smart. She already knows that.
could not stop laughing. So every time we walked past the car, you just heard off in the distance his hysterical laughing. Every single time. And we get in the car, he's still laughing at himself. So then we park. Oh, by the way, he still has not stopped laughing this entire time. We get out of the car, we walk the boardwalk, he's still laughing. And then every 5 minutes he looks at Heidi and goes, and Heidi thought it was so funny. And they sort of, God, there was people way down on the other end of the boardwalk. I'm like, guys, there's no people down there. It's an empty boardwalk. They're like, there's so many people. Let's go hang out with the people. And every time we walk further, they swore there were still people. But the people somehow stayed in the same distance from us than we were from them. And we never got to these people because there wasn't actually people. They just thought there was people.
From the apple juice.
And for some reason, everything Heidi said, this friend who shall not be named kept going, you're not wrong. You're not wrong. That's my story.
Mena, I gotta tell you what. All I gotta do is learn the basics of making podcasts, and I guarantee you can make a successful channel off of doing this.
Why?
We've already made it up to 10 minutes. That's all we really need, honestly.
Well...
we could keep going with more Ocean City stories. Like in 2016, how we went to Ocean City with someone who should not be named. And how this person, we're gonna call her Kendra.
Oh, that's real different from her name. You really changed it. That was a real stretch, man. You
the
really
people
went so
don't know that. They
People are
don't
never
know
gonna find out that it was.
Well, look what you just did, you idiot. Oh, that's really different. I will make fun of you because it is not really different name, but I will actually say the name.
I did it on purpose.
Anyway, what happened is that, like, we go into the motel and she says, oh, hey, can this other person join us? We thought it was a friend. No, it's someone we've never met. And they never met either. This person, Kendra, ended up inviting a complete stranger. Shut up. You're not making this better. Alright, fine. No, I don't think cares, would she?
I don't know. Talk to that. I don't talk to that wonderful person.
Yeah, I'll cut it out. I'll remember this part.
Cut it out now, huh?
Yeah, I can.
Go ahead. Tell your story.
No, I know what you're gonna do.
No.
Mina, if you keep doing this, it's gonna be harder to edit.
Okay, that's fine. Tell your story.
Jesus. That was your story too, technically.
Come on!
Okay, so stop that. It's gonna get the sound's gonna be calling to the microphone. Okay, maybe you shouldn't be good at this.
Okay, go on!
Alright. So basically someone that they never knew, they just met online. For the very first time on Facebook. This could have been like a serial killer.
Wait, was this the time that I was with
Yeah.
you guys?
Yeah, you were there with us too. I remember now. And this person was cool.
I guess.
To an I mean, they weren't awful. They were tolerable. But anyway, this was just, I didn't realize this until after we left. Because you said something to me about it. Because there was a bit of a scuffle, we shall say, a verbal disagreements. She was mad because she thought everyone was mad at her for something. But then she ended up getting everyone mad at her anyway because of how persistent she was about that.
What are we talking about?
He's trying to disguise it so much that we don't even know the story at this point.
Well, if
I'm so confused.
You remember the last time we went to Ocean City in 2016?
We nearly got murdered by a stranger because thought it was a good idea to invite a stranger to the place, and we didn't think about it. Could be a serial killer, and we died. We could have died in our sleep, but we didn't. But we lived, and it ended up drama because people got to get angry because we invited a stranger to Ocean City, and it wasn't a good fucking idea. There you go.
Very much.
Now the story's out there, and if you can edit her name out of that really fast talking, good luck.
You know, if I could go ahead and find that, censor beep.
Yeah, beep. Every time I say her name, when I said her name like over and over again, it'd be like beep 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 beep.
Or maybe I'll just add cartoon sound effects again. I have a whole line of cartoon sound effects just sitting in my computer. I could put them to use.
That many.
All you need is enough to really
This one
fill
time
10
I shot
minutes.
this guy in the head, and then I teabagged him, and then that's the end of the story.
No, but seriously.
One time at band camp.
I'm gonna go smoke a cigarette now.
I'm gonna take a shit.
Okay.
Okay.
If there was any video game my sister loved played more than anything else, it was Call of Duty. Especially Black Ops, the original.
I almost threw up on myself.
I saw that. You were making that face like, what the hell? You need to elaborate on the stories instead of, doing these gags. This isn't like stand-up comedy, you moron.
It could be stand-up comedy. Would you like to talk about my existential crisis?
We're not taking this podcast very seriously.
I can't take anything very seriously.
That explains why you're in the state that you are in your life. Don't do that.
I can do what I want, bitch.
This is my apartment. I can have you kicked out. I'll call the police on you.
My name's on the lease.
No, it's not. We had it removed.
Yes, it is. No, it's still on the lease.
No.
Yes.
No.
You can't remove it without her signature.
Heidi, you're not in here. You're not a part of this conversation.
I was terrible at Call of Duty.
Yeah, that's why you yelled every single time. Like, what the fuck is this? we used to play every single time. No, this isn't a Call of Duty. Technically, Modern Warfare is a part of the Call of Duty series. We used to play versus each other in Modern Warfare 4, the best one. And I would always pick up that bullet shield and the rocket launcher pair. Mena would hate that. She would stop playing, put the controller down, change your weapons. Don't deny it, it's true.
It's not fair. You can't use that, and then I can't win at all. There's no chance. Why would I pay if I can't win?
You gotta try and get behind me. You gotta sneak up behind me, man.
That's to do. Just like I hate when Heidi plays, and she goes, "Heidi, was that you? That played as the Juggernaut?" Yeah. I hate that shit. Yo, she runs full speed ahead. I can't outrun her. I can't shoot her. I can't win. I might as well just lay there and die.
But recently what we've been doing with Call of Duty is just going, stop fiddling with shit. Everything gets caught up by the microphone. So every little noise is going to become a distraction in some way.
So I should fire.
Yeah, well, if you want to. But at least we know it won't be me. No one can blame me for that one. Zachary farted and blamed it on his sister. He's a terrible brother. I know. Anyway, recently we've been doing, like, matches where we fade a bunch of CPUs because, like, for a while we didn't have Wi-Fi, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, and so every single time I would always go up in Nuketown, always go up to the top of the house. I'd piss you off by doing this too. I always find the cheap ways of playing and piss you off in the process to the point where you just don't want to play anymore. Go up to the top window, put a claymore by the only entrance to that room, so that if anyone tries to come in, and then snipe everyone else. Because I'm a fair player.
Yeah. No.
Yeah. Hey, they put that stuff in the game. They didn't patch it.
They put that stuff in the game for cheaters like you.
Yeah, claymores existed for cheaters. Singles were bullet shields and RPGs.
They're all cheaters.
Oh, cheater. Well, you're not wrong. If you put a bullet against an RPG, what the hell is going to win first?
I don't know what that means.
The rocket launcher?
Oh.
That's the RPG.
Oh, learned something new today.
Yeah, that's what they call it in the game. And then what's weird about Call of Duty is that they made it more futuristic. And you were commenting on this too. You didn't like how Nuketown look in like future games.
I don't like how you can fly now.
Yeah, it's some of the ideas they have. I get what they're trying to do. They're trying to change things up so it's not just release the same game over and over.
Seems like it's trying to be like Halo to me.
Oh yeah, Halo Reach had a jetpack. I loved the jetpack in Halo Reach. Halo was one of the first shooters we ever played. We used to play that all the time, too.
Oh, it got crazy. Wow.
One time I turned on Simple and Clean from Kingdom Hearts on the computer, and you wouldn't let the song finish. It's like, change it. No! Change it. No! And all you hear in the background is, Simple and Clean is the way! And Mena's just getting mad because she doesn't like any of my music. But hey, I'm supposed to deal with all the stuff she listens to.
We don't even listen to music together.
Yes, we did! That was back in the trailer after the house burned down. Back in the day.
Twas me.
Well, at least you took credit for that.
My eyes are watering. I'm getting so sad.
Yeah.
It's so sad.
These memories are too much for me.
What?
When did you discover Call of Duty?
I don't know.
Oh.
When I got my first PlayStation 3.
Oh, that's true. I was in my phase of being a Nintendo fanboy. So it was like, Sony and Microsoft suck. Nintendo's the best.
So I got a PlayStation.
And I got the Wii. In my opinion, I actually prefer... I don't know which one I like better, PS3 or the Wii. And they're both kind of equals for me. I know my favorite video game system will always be the PlayStation 2. And the Nintendo Switch will be a close second.
Sorry.
Oh, it's okay, it's okay. Let it all out.
I'm yawning.
Let it all out, child.
Do you cry over things that make you happy?
Yes.
What do you cry over?
Puppies.
You cry over puppies?
Really cute ones. Really cute and tiny ones that can fit in the palm of your hand. Because they're just so precious and literally anything could come and hurt them. You could just let them down gently and they could just... They're just so precious and need to be protected at all costs. Stop fucking with the printer.
I cry over mini ponies.
For the same reason.
Nope.
Because you can relate.
Because I can't have a mini pony. And I really want a mini pony. And it would be nice. I'm gonna cry.
It's really
And I
funny.
want to name it Gerald. Make it wear a hat and teach it how to tap dance, just in case all my career plans in life fail through, and we can join the circus and be 2 midgets together, and we could dance together, and it would be like regular people but miniature, and it would just be so cute. Every time I see miniature ponies on a horse farm, I get very emotional.
Aren't you like an inch away from being classified as a dwarf?
Yeah. Yep.
She's 1 inch taller from that mark.
I'm also 1 inch away from having to wear a car seat. Be in a car seat.
All right, Mena. We just got out from the bar. Get in your car seat. I don't want it. I don't want to get in the
Drop
car
her in.
seat. Alcoholics should have car seats.
Yeah.
Jesus. The hell was that?
A hair.
Why'd you just lay it on my desk?
You can keep my DNA.
Yeah, as soon as you die, I'll splice the DNA and make a whole new you.
We perfected cloning.
Yeah. They kind of have, in a way.
Have we?
Well, for dogs. What they do is that, like, if a dog dies and you can get, like, a strand of, like, fur or a clump of DNA and send it over to this one company, they can use the DNA, put it into an egg of another dog, and it will literally birth the exact same dog. But this time, it's from the very beginning as a puppy. I forget what exactly that company is called. And it's expensive, too. So we could have made a whole other Jake and Luigi.
But it wouldn't have the same personality.
Oh, well, yeah, that's why you raise it the same way you did before.
And it would become the same?
Pretty much.
So I should take my DNA. You would have to put it in the exact same egg.
No. It doesn't have to be.
Just the same person.
Same species.
Same species.
Yeah.
So
It has all of the qualities needed to make you, so.
So take my exact DNA and put it in someone else.
Well,
Isn't that just making
they've
a
only,
baby?
they've only done it with dogs. They haven't done it with humans yet.
Well, they should try it.
Who knows? They could one day.
I'd like my exact person again, so I can raise myself and see what happens. See if I end up gay again.
You'd probably be like one of those like current generation people. Don't talk to that evil straight white man. There are people who are genuinely like that on the internet. Oh, and you're like, we're all about equality, but not the evil straight white man. And it pisses me off so much because it's so deconstructive
Because
of the
you're
whole
the
idea.
evil straight white man?
That too. I feel horrible.
Because you're an evil straight white man?
Yes.
That really hot guy from band camp.
Ow, my leg.
Heidi.
The really hot guy from band
I
camp.
got an idea.
What?
I forgot. Never
Oh.
mind.
All right then. Heidi, what is an interesting topic?
Butt sex.
My butthole.
Yo, mama.
You want to talk about mother?
I don't have an interesting topic.
An interesting topic.
An interesting story in your life?
Heidi.
Yeah, see, this one day,
This one time at Rutter's, she met this really small leprechaun-like person.
that's the devil.
Her name is Mena.
Oh, you're not wrong.
I have a question.
What?
Do you and Corey have that twin telepathy thing? Like, if
Sometimes.
Corey's hurt, do you know Corey's hurt?
If I did, then I would have known whenever he ran into the fridge.
Well, like, if Corey's sad, do you know he's sad?
No.
No? So you don't have twin telepathy.
How does that even work?
We know what each other is thinking. Ow!
Really?
Oh, good job.
Obviously not. I don't think you actually know what Corey's thinking.
He always wants to kill people.
He always wants to murder them. I keep telling him, no, he can't do that. That kills people, Carl.
Carl. I wish I had a twin,
No, you don't.
so I could punch it in the face.
It's a nightmare.
You have a twin?
Corey.
Wow, Zach.
I thought you were talking about your
dumb.
lesbian friend, Corey.
Oh, no, her brother Corey.
Oh, shit.
Yep, had a twin my whole life.
Well, fuck. Alright then.
Hence why we're both in the same grade. We both have the same last name, Zach.
That's what we could talk about. What's it like being basically the physical embodiment of the sweet life of Zach and Cody?
Except you didn't grow up in a hotel and,
That
you know,
would've
you
been
have a
nice.
father.
Do I though? Do I really?
I met him. He kind
Are
of
you
looks
sure he
like
was
a...
real?
He kind of looks like Charlie Daniels.
He is Daniel Boone.
Who the fuck's Daniel Boone?
Don't know.
Wow, guys.
Wow.
Well, explain. Don't just call us stupid and not explain.
Why don't you look up who Daniel Boone is?
Why don't you suck a dick?
I will look up who Daniel Boone is.
Don't cock your head at me, bitch, like
You-
you something else. Who the fuck you think you are?
You boob.
You know-
What?
Go choke.
On what?
On a big dick.
No, thank you.
Yeah,
I don't have a taste for that.
Yeah,
It's kind of like an acquired taste.
How do you spell it? Daniel Boone?
IT?
What?
What were you spelling?
It's not Daniel at all. IT?
Oh, spell it. Stupid.
God, that was a knee slapper.
You fucking...
Stupid bitch.
No, the
That
funny
says
part
Danielle.
I don't know who the fuck...
D-A-N-I-E-L.
Okay.
B-O-O-N-E.
Daniel Boone.
Boom.
Daniel Boone was an American pioneer, explorer, woodsman, and frontiersman whose frontier... Oh my god. Now, he helped the first folks... What does this have to do with twins?
I said, that is my dad.
Oh.
Or that's not Daniel Boone. He believed she's faithful.
What the hell?
My dad is like a lumberjack. He looks like a fucking lumberjack. And guess what? Daniel Boone was like a lumberjack.
Not really. He was more of a pioneer.
He wasn't a lumberjack at all.
He
What
looks
is a
like George
pioneer?
Washington.
What is a pioneer? Have you ever played the game Pioneer?
I've played that Oregon Trail shit where you die of dysentery. Is that the same thing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Have you heard of the zombie apocalypse version called Oregon Trail?
No.
Someone actually made a zombie apocalypse version of that game where you have to drive a car, a station wagon, to a safe zone so that they can nuke the rest of the area.
You said, what the hell does that have to do with twins?
Well, I was confused.
Who's Mr. Magoo?
Mr. Magoo.
I Google him.
Okay, I already Googled what's his name.
His
Mr.
name is
Boone.
Danielle Boone.
Shut up.
Mr. Magoo.
Yeah, that was him. Oh, yep, that's him. He's like, oh yeah, I know that guy. He's a cartoon character from.
God, he looks like Pop.
He does. Except he's not as like skeleton.
What? And the dogs.
Oh my god.
Do you believe in reincarnation?
I hate the idea of reincarnation.
I believe that I was a fish in a past life. A useless fish. Like a salmon.
Okay.
Not even the good salmon. Like a salmon infected with cancer so people can't eat it. Like a shitty salmon. Like a salmon that didn't last through the winter. A salmon that wasn't built for life. A salmon that lived for maybe a day. Or maybe it was a fly, because flies only live for a day. Fruit
I
fly.
had an interesting question and you made me lose it.
What was the question?
I don't know now. You made me forget.
Because I'm a fruit
I was
fly.
gonna ask, yeah, basically. I was gonna ask how you something else about twins. Because that's our topic now.
Oh, that's our topic. Twins. What would you have done if you and Corey were conjoined?
Kill myself.
Conjoined. Oh my god. So, people say that we look alike.
I don't think so.
Yeah, I don't think we look alike either, but everyone keeps saying we do.
You look Asian.
Oh, thank you.
Yes,
Heidi.
classmate.
Yeah, you guys.
We basically have
I have
twins.
nothing. I just wanted to see
How the hell you
if
gonna
guys
raise your
would
hand?
answer.
Stop raising your hand if you don't got nothing to say, bitch.
What was your... No, I was gonna ask something about twin... Oh, no, wait, I already explained
Her
it.
hand's up again.
What? Yes, Heidi.
Can I use the bathroom?
No!
No, you used your bathroom break 10 minutes ago. Now you just want to avoid class.
How many times do you have to urinate in a day? Jesus Christ. Don't drink as much water. Stop drinking water. That's bullshit. Don't listen to them when they say you need to drink that much water. You're hurting your fucking bladder. How many times are you going to pee in a day, Heidi? Do you pee at night? No. That's 8 hours when you're sleeping.
She's counting. Let her concentrate. It's hard for her to concentrate. If you...
Okay, I pee when I wake up.
Okay.
She's really going to tell
I
us.
pee whenever I go to work.
Okay.
I pee
What if we had to pee out of our noses
2
instead
times
of our...
at work.
I don't know.
I pee whenever I get home. I pee like 1 or twice whenever I get home.
Okay.
And then I pee before I pick up Mena from work.
That's 8 so far.
Well, you have a very terrible bladder.
I pee when I get home from
Did you see
picking
that she
Mena
had to
up
put
from work.
She had to put her thumb down to put 4 fingers up because she couldn't keep her thumb up and put another finger up.
Just do this. Do
And-
this.
I can't. And then I pee before I go to bed, so 10 times.
Do you ever scary movie where he's got that tiny hand? My strong hand, my germs, my peace. That's what that looked like.
Christ. So you pee about 8 times a day, 8 to 10?
So ask Corey how many times a day he pees and see if it's a twin thing.
Well, you guys aren't rushing to the bathroom in a race. Imagine that. I gotta pee. No, I gotta pee.
The only reason I pee so much is because I drink a lot of fluids.
Yeah, so do I.
You pee like all the time.
Yes,
Not
I do.
to mention.
How many times a day do you pee, Zach?
Oh, no.
A lot.
Let's see.
Did you know if you're strayed in the wild, you could drink your own urine and survive?
Yes, you can. But I'd rather not do that. Because that's disgusting.
It's sterile.
You're sterile.
That's not how life works.
Your whole life works.
Hey guys,
What?
Huh.
did you know Zach uses the bathroom every single place that we ever go?
Because Zach likes to see bathrooms everywhere. It's been our entire lives.
Yep.
We couldn't even go to the grocery store and be like, Mom, I have to pee. She's like, you just want to look at the bathroom!
I don't like people. I like to distance myself from others. People are fucking horrible.
Do you remember when we used to go to the grocery store and Mom would be walking through the parking lot? And I'd be like, stranger, help me! I don't know her! Help me! I used to run from my mom in parking lots and scream that she was trying to kidnap me. Oh, she hated it.
I don't remember that.
You don't remember that? Ask
But
Mom.
that sounds great.
What's those code things whenever there was a missing kid? Code Adam. The one time I got a code Adam put out on me.
Oh my god.
It's supposed to be code Sarah if you're a girl.
Same difference.
guess they didn't
probably
know.
thought I was a dude. It doesn't matter. Anyway, there was a code Adam put out on me. And the funny part was, my mom kept looking everywhere for me, right? I was standing right by the customer service desk the whole entire time.
Zach was under a bucket.
Yeah, that shit was funny.
Okay, so for those who don't know, this is something we should talk about in the Ocean City video. Apparently when I was really, really little, when we went to Ocean City, one time we were at the beach, and instead of going in the water, I dug a big-ass hole in the sand, put my body in it. Mena covers my body in sand, except for my head. She puts a bucket over top of it. Basically, Mum and Mom are basically having panic attacks, wondering where the hell I am, screaming out for me. This one guy who was sitting behind me, a complete stranger, was laughing his ass off because he knew the entire time. And all that happens is, before anyone else could come up and start looking, I burst out of the ground.
Hysterically laughing.
Apparently that's something me and my sister did. All the time, like, hide me from, like, in random situations. Like, apparently I hid inside, the washing machine. That could have killed me if it went wrong. Good thing it didn't. Or maybe it did, and this is just, like, you know, what happens after you die. You still, like, continue as if you didn't die. Maybe that's how broken bones work. Perhaps. This is the last one me and my sister are going to be doing because you were just hard to control during these.
Okay.
Look at me. I mean, I'm smart. I make funny jokes.
Okay.
Alright, so we used to... Oh,
Hold on. Now I'm ready. I had to get my voice prepared for this shit.
Oh, okay. Jesus. People are going to think you're like 12.
But if you only knew what I looked like, hideous. It's sad. Moving on.
They won't feel bad for you.
No, don't want you to.
So, we used to work at this place many years ago called the Haunted Mill. When's the first year you came in? Because I know
I was like 13. So, 2009.
Yeah, and I didn't come until 2011.
Whoa. That's incorrect. I was 13 in 2007.
Okay, so you started working there in 2007.
Some shit like that.
Yeah. Yeah, I remember because I made Nat the Banana Ghost in 2009 where you were working at the Haunted Mill. Mom was, I think, asleep and you were at the Haunted Mill. Or, no wait, Mom was going to pick you up from the Haunted Mill. And then I decided to work on Nat the Banana Ghost. But anyway, the Haunted Mill is basically just this famous horror attraction. And I say famous because we see cars coming from all over the East Coast. We see tags from like Virginia, Maryland, New York, all coming to see this pitiful little area. You're not wrong. Anyway, so the Haunted Mill, back when we worked there, was owned by some guy, don't know if, what was his name?
Oh, God.
Whisper to me, so we don't accidentally...
I don't remember his
Well,
name.
he's dead, so...
Oh, my... Well, he's
And his
dead,
name,
so-
I think his name was Chris.
No.
Well, let's just call him Chris for the sake of it.
Okay.
So Chris owned a Haunted Mill at that point until he died. I forgot how he died. It either was cancer or...
I think he just died.
People don't just die, Mena.
People do just die.
No, they don't.
Your body fails in the end. You just die.
No, they never just say... Look, when you die of old age, they don't say you die of old age. You can't die of old age.
Natural.
You die... No. You die of some kind of, like... It's different for everyone. Like, you're right in the sense that, like, you can't die of, like, a failing organ. But they don't just classify it as, this person just died.
It's natural something.
Natural causes.
Yeah.
But anyway, it could have been just that, too. I remember, it was 2012 that happened, so we thought it was going to be closed, but it was going on anyway. No, it was 2013. I know it was the year I was in Washington.
I did not work there the year you were in Washington.
Oh, alright.
I stopped working there.
Oh, I guess we both did. I didn't have a choice. What was I going to do, fly over? Back then, there were only 5 different attractions. Mall's Crazy Maze, the actual Haunted Mill itself, which is where you and I worked.
House of Eyes.
Yes. Cornwalk, and at one point there was the Haunted Hayride, but that was replaced by the House of Eyes. So, last one was...
Terror Trail.
Terror Trail, yes. Yeah, that was a time.
Well, when I first started working there, it was the Hayride, Mall's Crazy Maze, Dark Zone, and the Mill, and Terror Trail.
We still have Dark Zone. They brought that back.
Mm-mm.
You know, it's like this little tent. I'm not kidding. You go there now, they brought the Dark Zone back, but now it's like this little tent of whatever the hell it is. I don't know what exactly is in there. I wanted to look one time, but I really don't know. But now, since the original owner died, it was bought by this person named Kim. Kim's Crypt. She actually owns a couple of horror attractions, so she was for a while they weren't able to make the Haunted Mill better because they didn't have the money. That's why after the owner died, the family decided just to sell it. Stop fiddling with shit. So Kim, when she bought it, she actually had the money to make it better. To an extent.
As good as it's gonna get.
Yeah, pretty much. So she renamed a lot of stuff. Now it's called Kim's Crypt, the Haunted Mill. And it's not called Mall's Crazy Maze anymore. It's called Kim's Crazy Maze. Yeah. And I think she works there, I believe. She's all professional about it. But anyway.
Works in your asshole.
Okay. Works in your asshole, she says. Oh, God. Anyway. But then we had a couple of stories working at the Haunted Mill. This one kid, I'm not going to say his name because we're actually friends with him. He did some illegal substances. He ate some candy. And he had to get his stomach pumped. I remember that. And he never worked in Haunted Mill since, I don't believe.
I don't think he went back.
Yeah. I think that was the moment he left. I had to witness him fucking collapse on the ground. I was unsure what the hell happened. They had to close down and everything. And then, like, what happened next? I don't know. The only know is he had to get his stomach pumped, and everyone felt bad for him. And I did too, trust me. But I remember explicitly he did kind of calls it upon himself, in the sense that, like, not in the sense that he did the drugs. Like, kids, drugs are bad. I mean, eating candy. But he was told explicitly not to do it, like, this amount of times. But he, at that point in time, he was that kind of, look at me and how great I am kind of person. I get all the girls. And I know. And not as an insult. I don't want to seem like I'm making fun of him. But he was kind of like that at that point in time. So he thought he could go farther than that. So he went past the limit, and there he goes, just to the ground.
I didn't see it happen.
I had to witness him just basically sway back and forth, look down, and then fall on the ground. He went down face first.
But the other person that we knew that worked there that ate the candy came up to me and told me there was spiders in his hair.
Oh, hey, Jesus. Don't you remember being punched in the face, actually?
Yes, I got punched in the face. I jumped out in front of...
No, describe the place you worked at. Be
I worked
professional.
in the mad scientist room.
Inside the haunted
I was the
mill.
mad scientist. And there was stairs right before the mad scientist room. This guy was coming up the stairs. I was hiding behind this wall. And as soon as he came, I jumped out in front of him and he punched me in the face.
He gave you a bloody nose, didn't he?
Yes. And I took my mask off and was very unprofessional about it and told him to get the fuck out.
Understandably so.
And there was another guy before you worked there, when me and Taylor worked there.
Oh.
And Taylor used to stand, when we worked in the barber shop, Taylor used to stand up on that, near the top of the barber shop, how there were stairs. She used to stand up there and jump down.
Oh, wow.
And there was a man and his son came through and she jumped down in front of him. The man fell to the ground and started crying. And the son just stood there and laughed. And Taylor peed herself.
She does that all the time. Taylor, back when she was a teenager and even younger than that, she peed. Every time she just let out a little chuckle, burst of liquids came out from her body. Every time she'd sleep over, she'd have to bring like an extra pair of jeans. Every time she went to school, she had to bring an extra pair of jeans.
Yeah, she did pee a lot.
Yeah, she did. I remember one time I witnessed it. You guys were playing on the scooter, the electric scooter, and then you crashed or something, and then all I hear is from Taylor, I peed! And I see this big puddle. She runs back inside. She was laughing the entire time, so it's not like she was embarrassed. Oh, she probably was embarrassed.
She got used to peeing.
Don't break my eraser in half. I don't have that many of those. Yeah, she got used to that. There were other stories of the Haunted Mill. When I worked there, when Kim was very professional about it. She would have a meeting every week, tell us what we were doing right and wrong, how we could improve. She was better than a lot of other people, but my problem was that working in a haunted mill as a teenager is your best experience, because there are actually going to be people also as teenagers, working there. Some people that you know. You go ahead and do that as an adult. Unless you go with a buddy, then you're not going to recognize anyone. Mena didn't know that you could actually get paid there now. Originally, it was just volunteer, and you got a certain amount of money at the ends. Now it's that you get paid every week. You didn't know that until I officially got hired, and you're like, damn it. Fuck. You could have been paid to be the mad scientist again.
They wouldn't have gave me that job again. I doubt it.
Yeah, they probably would have given you somewhere else. They didn't let you choose where to go. I mean, I don't think they did in the first place. But now it's literally just because of how professional Kim was. She saw what you could do. She saw your costume and told you where you could go. I wore my suit that I used for the Butler of Time and a mask that I got from that mask store down the street. And she told me I could be a good mortician. So I was literally the first person you ran into in the House of Eyes for a while. And oh my god, this pissed me off. This one guy came in all by his lonesome. What happened was that, when someone comes in, I'm supposed to just stand up and sort of spook them. They come from behind a wall. They don't see me yet. And if I just play it just right, I could look like a prop. So I jumped right up and yelled, "Pay your respects," or something like that. I said that to the guy. I yelled, "Pay your respects." He just stands there, stops, turns his head and says, "You know I was at a funeral, right?" "No, I don't. I don't even know you. Why would you come if you didn't want to be reminded of death after you just went to... I'm sorry, you lost someone important to you. But if you came to... If you just left a funeral and you came to a place called the Haunted Mill, you should kind of expect a reference of death. If you don't want to deal with references of death right after leaving a funeral, why did you come?" That just lacks common sense right there. And that's... And before anyone says, like, "Oh, maybe someone brought him," no, he was all by himself. Literally, just a dude walked in, all by his lonesome. And you could say, "Oh, that's his way of coping," but you can't really get mad at someone for working in a place where death is going to be referenced a lot.
Right.
And I thought he was gonna punch me right in the nose. Oh my god. It was still a fun time. I quit. I didn't tell Kim I was quitting. I just kind of decided not to come back. There was 1 week of payment I didn't get. Because I was too afraid to show my face. After, like, quitting and not telling anyone. Not that they'd give it to me now. Because for one, the Haunted Mill's not open, and two, it'd be 2 years too late. Mm-hmm. I kind of thought about, like, bringing the camera in and doing a video there. But because of how dark it is and all the loud sound effects, it wouldn't have worked. I remember I tried to bring... Oh my god, there was a video we made at the Haunted Mill, the Organization 13 thing. Uh-huh. We did a series called Life in Organization 13. And it was just me cosplaying as different members of Organization 13, badly, mind you, and just dicking around doing unscripted comedy skits. It was all horrible. One time I was Zexion at the Haunted Mill, and I was just dicking around with a lot of friends, and another video that I wanted to make never got released because I lost the files. It was Tug the Penguin, or at the time, Mr. Tuggles, at the Haunted Mill. And one of the gags that I met this in the year 2012, there was this nice guy. He worked in the room next to me. He would do this joke where he just walks up to people talking and go, "Shh, everybody shut up." So I kind of did it with him with Tug, and he looks at me for a second all confused, immediately grabs him and throws him to the ground, jokingly obviously, not like serious. But that video never got released because I think I was being lazy, or either that or the computer immediately broke the next day. Because our computers tend to break a lot. Mainly because I didn't know how to clear cookies, and I went to sketchy websites. Now I know.
Like watching porn.
No. Yes. But don't tell anybody that. I want to be professional. Shush. Anyway. I don't think there's any other remarkable stories from the Haunted Mill.
I don't think so.
Wasn't there like a... I'm trying to remember. Something happened to you one of the years I worked there. All I know is, when it got cold at the end of October, oh my god, it was miserable. We didn't have like sweat jackets or everything. We just had our costumes.
I brought blankets.
Oh, good for you. I was freezing. I had a pleather Organization 13 coat that I used for 2011. Still got cold as shit. I remember I broke my Freddy Krueger claw that I brought in that one year. Because I was doing a thing like, where he brings his arm up, but I accidentally hit some guy's face. Of course, I apologize profusely. I broke a character just for that. And then, snap, there it goes. Now, while I'm more into the animation industry, I'm trying to go to school to become an animator, I am still somewhat into video games. Not to the point where I play them every day. I consider myself more of a casual gamer, if anything else. There are genres and games I like. I love the platform fighting genre and how it's finally being able to have more games inside its genre besides just Smash Brothers, like Rivals of Aether, Icons Combat Arena, Indie Pogo. Of course, there are franchises I like Smash Brothers, Kingdom Hearts, Sonic the Hedgehog, and games I like Shovel Knight, Cuphead. And it's just to say, that while I am not a huge gamer, I still respect video games as a whole. I'm not one of those people that's just, oh, video games are the epitome of evil. They are Satan. Because that's just silly. They're recently getting back into doing the whole, oh, video games cause people to become shooting things again. And you all are being played like fools. They want you to go ahead and look at those news reports and ignore the bigger picture. It's just like what they did with Columbine. Instead of actually looking at the real issue, they decided to be like, video games, Doom, The Matrix, Marilyn Manson, Gothic subculture. Let's blame all of those. Shame them. Shame you. Everybody. Shame. 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 What am I doing? I've got really off track so quickly. Anyway, the first video game system we got was never bought for the family. It was sort of a hand-me-down from, let's just say, not the best stepdad. He's not my stepdad anymore. It's been like over 10 years since he had a divorce with my mom. And thank God, let's just say, that guy, he wasn't necessarily abusive, but he almost got to that point. I should say that. I don't know what happened. When my mom first met him, he was the nicest, sweetest guy you could meet. And the next thing you know, he punches through the window in our front door and tries to say my mom tried to kill him. Which, of course, did not happen. Well, okay, my mom didn't try to kill him. He did punch through the window in the front door. I don't know why. He just comes home drunk, and then instead of using his key to open the door, he goes, boosh, right through the window. The cops come. You know what he does? He decides to say, oh, she tried to kill me, because he got a big old gash in his arm from punching the window. Even though the cop could easily just take 5 steps and see that that window's broken and is covered in blood. And you know what happened next? His friend came over. And you're going to think, oh, he's going to take the stepdad's side. No, 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 no. My stepdad's, or former stepdad's ex-stepdad, I don't know what you'd call him, his friend decided to be like, officer, if she wanted to kill him, he'd already be dead. And I don't find that hard to believe. You don't fuck with Mama Bear. And I'm not just talking about my mom, I'm talking about moms in general. As soon as, like, someone gets in the way of Mama Bear's cubs, she becomes Godzilla. Oh no! Oh, Christ. But if there's anything I would go ahead and thank him for, it's for introducing me to the PS1, my first video game system. That wasn't bought for the family. That was the PS2. Okay, no, the Game Boy was the first. Okay, home console, whatever. And of course, this console, it had multiple games that he already had and some bought for the family. All 3 Crash Bandicoot games, Crash 1, Crash 2, and Crash Bandicoot Warped. It's not called Crash 3, it's called Crash Warped. I don't know. Anyway, we also had the Rugrats video game, Search for Reptar, Ape Escape. What else? Jesus. My memory, we rented a lot of video games. We didn't actually buy video games. We just went to Blockbuster, remember when that was a thing, and rented games, like the Monsters, Inc. video game, and for the PS2 sake, since I can't think of any other PS1 examples, like the Madagascar video game. There aren't that many PS1 memories I have. I do remember having Scooby-Doo and Cyber Chase, not as a rental. The games like the Crash games, Ape Escape, Rugrats, Search for Reptar, and Scooby-Doo, those are all games that we owned. And an arcade collection. No, it wasn't an arcade, it was an Atari collection. What am I thinking? I don't know why, but me and my sister played the shit out of the Atari collection. I forgot, Tempest. I was going to say I forgot the name, but I just remembered it as soon as I was going to say that. I loved Tempest. Tempest does not get talked about as much as it does. Essentially, all it is kind of like a shooter, but you're kind of not really on rail in the normal sense of the term on rail. You're kind of like this little, I don't know how to describe it. It's like a weird shaped ship thing, and you gotta constantly turn it into other lines and make it shoot down that said line. I hope I'm explaining this well, because I have it imagined in my head right now. It's right there in my brain. But coming out of my mouth, it probably just sounds like I'm going, colorful shapes going in the line, and gotta shoot the bad lines. And of course, asteroids, missile war. I forgot. The missile game. that gave everyone a goddamn seizure. And of course, very recently, I actually went down, not recently as in 2015, 2016, can't exactly remember what year. I actually got some more PS1 games because this is a point in time where I wanted to experiment with Red Room, back before Red Room even became a thing. I also got things like Tomb Raider, Croc, Abe's Odyssey. What else? There was another one. But anyway, a lot of them don't work. It's not the games, it's the controller I have for the PS2. It's like cut at the wire. It somewhat works, but it keeps trying to pause. Abe's Odyssey just flickers the pause screen. That was probably the most disgusting sound you ever heard. That was my tongue, okay? My lips smacked. If you thought that was anything else, please get those thoughts out of your head. Get your mind out of the gutter. Go to the bathroom, finish up what you started after hearing the sound, and then come back, okay? But it would work for other games. It would work with Crash 3. It would work with Kingdom Hearts. But the only PS2 controller I have that would work would, for some reason, do that. I have to get a new one soon. I know it's not that, and not the games, because I have two PS2s. That was an accident. Alright. Now, what happened was, in 2015, I thought I sold my PS2 to get extra money. We were in a rough time at that point. So while packing to move on to the next apartment, I decided, you know what? How about I go down to the thrift store and buy a PS2, just for shits and giggles. And then, so I did it. I bought the game system, I bought some games. I think that's where I bought Tomb Raider, Croc, and all of the others that I have now. And I played Crash Bandicoot 3 for a little bit. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. And then, guess what happens while I continuously pack? Literally an hour later. There's that box. I wonder if it's empty. I could use it for packing. Oh, look, the PS2 I thought I sold. I guess I have two now. Oh, God. Holy hell. Now, and I still have both of them. I could easily sell one for some extra bucks, but I don't know which one. And I know that sounds like a stupid question. Hear me out. One of them is missing a certain component. And you think that's the one I should get rid of. But it's not. You know how the N64 has like that thing you gotta plug into the system to play games like Donkey Kong 64. The big red thing they put in the front of it. I forget what it's called. It has one of those things in the back of it. And it's missing. And I don't know what it adds and what it removes. Actually, you know what? No, I just realized what I said was stupid. I just realized what the hell doesn't matter. Just pull it out anyway. You can pull it out of the one. Never mind. Whatever. I'm an idiot. I just realized how much of a fucking idiot I sound like. Oh, lordy. Jesus Christ. We don't have the PS1 anymore. What happened to it? Okay. This is around 2008, maybe 9. This was 2008. I remember now because this is when my cat died. Remember that explicitly. It was a very scarring moment. Anyway. So, we had this little kitten named Tiger. Cutest little thing in the goddamn world. I think I have a video of Tiger back in my very first YouTube account 10 years ago. It might still be there if the channel is still up. I don't know. I haven't been able to do anything with it for the past 8 years, so YouTube might have just decided, yeah, we're going to shut that down. It's very possible. But anyway, Tiger never knew when or where to piss. So one time, we decided we don't need the PS1 anymore. The PS2 has backwards capability. So in the neighborhood that we lived in, we decided to sell it. You know what happens? They brought it right back and said, it won't work and it smells like cat piss. Well, I wonder what could have caused that conundrum. My thing is that you're thinking, oh, the PS1 was on the floor or maybe on a shelf. No, it was in this cabinet-like area. We had this big stand for our big, huge back-end TV. So basically, there were no open parts. So there were doors that opened and closed that we opened whenever we wanted to play. Whenever we wanted to play. Sorry, I can't talk. Whenever we wanted to play any game. And it was closed the majority of the time. Somehow, this little shit figured out how to open the door, go inside, and take a leak on the PS1, and get right back out. I don't know. I know how much they did that just as much as I know why I stutter so much and slur my words, because I'm a fucking idiot. Why do I do that anyway? A lot of you are probably like, alright, get to the point, dumbass. Slouching on your couch or whatever, looking at me be like, this idiot can't even finish a sentence. Probably doing impersonations of me right now. Oh, they. And I'm just sitting here going, stop making fun of me. What the hell? I think I lost my mind. I think it's finally happened. I'm getting the phlegm. Ugh. The weather is changing officially to warm temperature, which is great. But two things are going to happen to me. I'm not going to be able to talk because my throat's going to hurt and be filled with phlegm. Or the correct pronunciation, phlegm. And also my eyes are going to become fucking swollen because of all the pollen, and I'm going to keep rubbing them because they're so goddamn itchy. And everyone's going to keep telling me stop. And I'm thinking, oh yeah, I'll just mystically stop them from itching. Oh. And I think this too shall pass, then it takes a month. Oh. I hate it when my eyes get itchy because of the pollen. I don't know why, it only recently started for me in like 2016. What was I talking about? Oh yeah, the PS2. Now, the very first video game my family first bought, home console I mean, was the PlayStation 2. And to this day, it is my favorite video game system. I know it's not as powerful as the GameCube is, but I think it has a better library. There's Devil May Cry, there's the Silent Hill games, there's Kingdom Hearts, there's Final Fantasy 9 and 10, there's Ratchet & Clank, God of War, Jak and Daxter. There's another, one of the Twisted Metal games. There's Steve and Peeves' Mystical Adventure, whatever. And guess how many of those games I played? Only one. And that was Kingdom Hearts. You see, I was one of those kids that decided to get video games not based on, oh, this game is so great. Like, word of mouth. The internet wasn't as big and we didn't really have a computer at that point. So, basically, I just went by, ooh, my favorite character's on the cover. Is that Ben 10? Is that Timmy Turner from the Fairly Odd Parents? Is that SpongeBob? Mom, SpongeBob! And the only few times I would ever play anything that isn't a licensed game is when it was Crash Bandicoot, one of the Ape Escape games, Ape Escape 3, and Kingdom Hearts mainly because of the Disney characters. So, in a way, I kind of only discovered Kingdom Hearts because of the whole licensed game thing that I was going through. I was one of those kids. Mom, is that Ed and Nettie? They got their own video game? Mom, get it! I gotta get Ed and Nettie, the Misadventures. I don't remember anything from that game. All I know is Ed and Nettie, the Misadventures actually tried to recreate the art style of the show with the wibbly wobbly lines. Don't know why I said it like that. I'm not even drunk. I decided I'm not going to be drinking today. Yeah, I still talk like I'm drunk for some reason. They got similar colors, they got similar line shaking, and it was one of those games that looked bad but was somewhat appealing in that sense. Like, it was kind of charming like the actual show is. Even though the characters' mouths, like Eddie, looked like he was a fucking duck. Not in a good way. Ducks are fine, but humans are not supposed to have duck faces. Now that I think about what I just said, it sounds like I'm talking about, duck faces for selfies, whatever, moving on. So, I definitely took that generation for granted. I feel like if I had the same mindset now, back then, I would have been able to experience so much more. But no, I'm an idiot. Yeah. Now, I already told the story in the PS1 video about how I have two PS2s, but since the PS2 is the main topic here, I think I'll retell it. So, I'm sorry if you don't want to hear it again. I guess go to the timestamp if you don't want to hear this again. Anyway, for those who don't know, I now have two PS2s, because I'm a fucking idiot. essentially back in 2015 when I was packing to move on to my new apartments, I thought that I sold the PS2 that I had, for extra money. It was a hard time at that point. We were definitely in a tight spot. For a while, anyway. We still kind of are, but not as bad, I'll say that. Anyway. What happened was, you know what? I have a few extra bucks to spare. I'm gonna go ahead and see if I can find, like, a thrift store, or... We have this place called Morningstar. Which is basically kind of like this big yard sale-like location. Where people could just go in and like, here, sell your shit. And there was a video game section, which I used to go to all the time when I was younger. Essentially, they just sold, like, retro games like NES, Super Nintendo, Sega Genesis. And that's where I got my first versions of many systems. There's another story as to why I said first. I'll go over that another day. So I got a PS2, and even some games. I got Destroy All Humans 2. I got some PS1 games, like Tomb Raider, Abe's Odyssey, Croc. I think it was Croc 2. Yeah, it's Croc 2. And a couple of others. I come home, I play Crash Bandicoot Warped. I'm like, la la la, this game is fun. Doop-a-doop-a-doop. And then I decide, alright, this is going to be enough. Boop. I pause it, or turn off the system. Can't remember. Doesn't matter. So I decide to pack some more. I look into one of my closets. In the apartment I lived in at that point in time, I had 2. Don't know why. That apartment was set up like that. But anyway, I looked in the second closet, and there's like a whole box right on top. It was a Virtual Boy box, because I had a Virtual Boy at one point. I think I still do. I don't know. I might have to look around for that if I do. I think I still have the box, though. Anyway, moving on. I go and look in the box like, maybe I could use this for packing. I open it up. Guess what I find? The PS2 that I thought I sold. I'm a fucking idiot. So now I have 2 PS2s, and because I was an idiot and thought that one was different when it wasn't, if you saw the first podcast, you'd understand. The PS1 podcast is what I'm referring to. And also, I'm a lazy bastard. I still have both of them, and I have yet to sell one. Probably should do that eventually. Nah, I kind of like how they're stacked together like that. It's kind of cute. Anyway, back to the first PS2. Oh, by the way, the 2 PS2s I have right now, neither of them are the first. Oh, yeah, we had a house fire in 2010, and that's what happened to many of the first video game systems. But that's another story for another day. The whole house fire, that was a huge conundrum. Anyway, moving on. Well, what was I going on about? Oh, yeah. The first PS2, we got 2 games. Of course, they were both licensed titles. It was Fairly Odd Parents, Breaking the Rules. And this game was kind of special. Not in the sense that it was good, or I had fond memories of it. Because, I mean, special is in the cutscenes. You know how you can skip cutscenes just by pressing X or starts? No. You can't skip cutscenes. But you can skip lines of dialogue. And this is how you skipped cutscenes. So you had to mash X as I heard characters go, and then I heard, so what about, and then have it, and the camera keeps shifting over them as if it's their scene, and then they start their line, and then if you press X, boop, goes over to that shot. I'm surprised. I don't have that game anymore. I wish I did, and I wish I had a capture card, because I would love to show that. It's the funniest shit ever. You just hear Timmy Turner go, oh my god, well, what about, I didn't have oh, Jesus. They let you skip just one line of dialogue. It wasn't one of those cutscenes where it was, like a mugshot of a character with text under it and voice acting. No, this was a fully animated cutscene with characters moving around fluently. Like famous Kingdom Hearts cutscenes. That's not a good example. They can switch around between silent ones and whatever. You know what I mean. Shut up, phone. These are completely fully animated, voice-acted cutscenes that didn't require you to press X to skip any dialogue. Like, if a character completed their line, it wouldn't say press X to go to next. It would just go on to the next like a normal cutscene. But for some reason they added that function where you could just skip entire lines of dialogue and not skip the entire cutscene, just bits of... Funniest shit ever. The other game was Shrek Super Slam. No, not Super Slam. No. Shrek, it was that Mario Party ripoff. Hang on. I think I can look it up right now. I don't care about Pokemon Go right now. I just want the fucking Shrek Mario Party. I'll just look that up. Oh yeah, Shrek Super Party. And the weirdest thing about that game was, no character talked. The characters were completely silent. The only character that talked was the narrator. You know, mirror, mirror on the wall. That guy. And all the characters looked so weird, because they either shrunk their bodies or grew their heads. They looked like bobbleheads, essentially. They're the goofiest looking motherfuckers. I mean, I get it, like, maybe they're trying to go for a certain style. Maybe make them proportionate for, you know, the more cartoony antics they're going to get into with the actual minigames. But it just looked hideous. Because, you know, DreamWorks' style, they have somewhat of a, you know, cartoony, but also, how do I put this? Their models or characters are more detailed. Like, instead of having this really cartoony, fake-looking city, they would probably have a realistic-looking city with cartoony characters over it, but the cartoony characters still somewhat have a lot of detail on them. So that's why the characters look off. Like, Fiona looks more like an actual human than a lot of Disney princesses do. That's what I'm referring to. So to give those characters bigger heads, but not like change the color or the overall style, just give them bigger heads, that's it, they're gonna look goofy as hell. Also, this is when Shrek 1 was completely new. So I think that's why they didn't have that many voice actors in general, but that's also why Fiona is in her human form inside this game. For some reason, they don't have her ogre form. It's just her regular human form. It was the first... It was the second to first PS2 game we got. We got 2 on Christmas Day. And of course, I started playing them right away. Guess what happens? I'm done playing Fairly Odd Parents Breaking the Rules. I'm going to play Shrek for a little bit. I open the case, and then snap! I break the game in half. And you'd think, of course, I'm a little kid at this point. I'm like 6, maybe 5. I'm going to cry, right? No. For some reason, I'm just like, oh, okay, this is easy to replace. Not realizing how expensive video games actually are. And then I also realized, I think what also happened was that I was so happy that I got a PS2 and I also have another game, you know, the Fairly Odd Parents one, that I just didn't care. Were there any other story? Oh yeah. I was a fucking idiot for a while. This is nothing new. I still am. But proof of me being an idiot back then also comes with this. We, for a long time, did not get a memory card for the PS2. My initial thought process was video games were meant to be like, go as far as you can. Even the story-driven ones like Kingdom Hearts. Like, I thought Roxas' story was the only thing you can do. That's how stupid I was. So I would just keep replaying Roxas' story over and over and over because I didn't think, maybe I should get this thing called a memory card. Then I finally do, and guess what happens? The copy of Kingdom Hearts 2 that I had was broken. And I can only figure this out in the cutscenes. What happened was, every single time you would get into Yensid's castle, you would go into this one cutscene after Sora got his new clothes, and Yensid was like, hey look, the gummy ship or whatever. All of the characters just run up to the window and look at it amazed like, whoa, what is that? And one by one, Donald, Goofy, and Sora would just freeze. Not all at once. First Donald, then Goofy, and then Sora would just freeze. But the gummy ship would just still be floating there, bobbing up and down, and you would still hear the music in the background too. What happened? I don't know. The game crashed. But it would just continuously do this over and over until I got a completely different copy. Well, actually, no, wait. No, I didn't own a copy then. That was a rented copy from Movie Gallery. They didn't sell. They gave away for rent a broken copy of Kingdom Hearts 2. Oh, now I don't feel as bad that Movie Gallery shut down. For those who don't know, Movie Gallery is essentially just like a second Blockbuster. Like, if you weren't close to Blockbuster, you could just go to Movie Gallery. Of course, they were one of the first people to go down when streaming started to get big. This was in like 2010, I think, when Movie Gallery shut down. I could be wrong. And then it just got replaced by a hardware store. Oh, look at me. I'm a hardware store. I'm neat. I hate it when, like, stores that you love going to get replaced with just ones that you hate. Like, I don't know, let's say, you like this bookstore, right? Books a Lot Incorporated. It goes out of business, shuts down their store. Well, I'm sure something else is going to come that might interest me. Sprint. You want a new phone? Come to Sprint. I don't even have Sprint. I have Virgin Mobile. So forever afterwards, you would just avoid that store. Not because you hate it, but because it's not a store that, sells the kind of stuff that you're into. I'm not a tool guy, alright? Let's just say that. You like hammers? No. Do you like screwdrivers? Do you like nails? You really nailed it this time. Really? No. Alright, so when I was really younger in the area that I lived in, you know how kids normally, we go to Chuck E. Cheese, or, similar places like that. We went to a totally different place. Where I lived it wasn't actually in a place that we lived in, it was in a town over. There was a place called Faloons. It's not open anymore, it's closed down. It closed down years ago. I don't actually know, how long ago that was. You know what, let's just see if I can find that out. Faloons spelt like balloons, but instead with an F and one L for whatever reason. So it's technically Faloons. Alright, Faloons Family Fun Center. And here I thought it was a big company, but it turns out it's just like its own independent little thing that was going on at the time. It has 2 reviews on it. It closed, description, indoor jungle gym. That's literally the description. It doesn't say when it closed. I guess... Oh, yeah, it closed in 2011. Wow. I didn't know it closed in 2011. Thought it closed earlier than that. Oh, whatever. Screw it. So we went there instead of Chuck E. Cheese because we didn't have a Chuck E. Cheese in our area at that point in time. I don't think so anyway. I know there's a Chuck E. Cheese where I live now, but me being 21 years old, walking into Chuck E. Cheese expecting everyone just to be okay with it, yeah, not gonna fly in this generation. Besides, I think you need a kid to be able to go in. If you just go in by yourself as an adult, you're not gonna be able to. They want to be they're a real stickler on that, and it's understandable, because they don't want pedophiles walking in, it's just like, I'm just here to play Pac-Man and get tokens. Yeah, it's gonna be suspicious, alright? Also, you can tell, like, if it's a big group of drunk people coming in, you can tell, oh, they're probably not here to be pedophiles, unless it's like a whole fucking cult of pedophiles walking in drunk. In that case, that was terribly organized of you guys. But at the same time, you could tell they're not trying to be pedophiles yet. They would just be a nuisance. They're drunk. So, overall, I can see where they're coming from on this. Though I could imagine, like, a whole group of, like, 20 adults, and they bring one kid inside. We have a kid! Let us in! And they just abducted the child. They just picked him up from the playground. Hey, kid, wanna go to Chuck E. Cheese? Yay! They just pick up the kid. We're going to Chuck E. Cheese, fellas! The mom's running around screaming, where's Bobby? Oh, Jesus. That went dark. Now people are going to be mad at me for making a joke like that. I'm sorry, okay? Anyway, Faloons was just basically a bootleg Chuck E. Cheese. It had like 3 arcade games and a jungle gym, and that's it. It was connected to a Dairy Queen, but does that really count as like an actual part of Faloons? I mean, you can walk into the Dairy Queen while you're inside the Faloons. But at the same time, and it did close down. That specific Dairy Queen closed down the same time as that Faloons, I think anyway, which is really strange. It could have done its own thing. You know what happened to the building though? The Faloons building became a car center. Ain't that boring as shit? We already have enough of those. Literally in the place that's in. What was it? The town was called. Jesus, it's been a while since I've been there. Hanover. And in Hanover, there were a bunch of fucking car area. There was literally like a Toyota down the street. And you're telling me we need another car. We need another tar location. Tar R Us and Tar Mart isn't enough. Jeez. I could buy tar. I just want to go to Faloons. Christ, I can't talk. This series was a bad idea, but I'm gonna do it anyway because it's fun. Because it's funny. Though I think I discovered why it closed down. You see, in Hanover, there's also another location called Hickory Falls, which is essentially the same thing, right? It also has a jungle gym, but has a lot more arcade games, has laser tag, has a huge miniature golf area, bumper cars, and a food area that's not Dairy Queen, which that could be debatable depending on how you feel about Dairy Queen. And Jesus, it's hard to question, oh, I wonder why Faloons closed down. How about the place that's literally right down the street? Actually, no, it wasn't right down the street. But it was still an area of Hanover, so it was just, well, I don't know what ratio I could use for this. And I don't know if I should be using the term Hanover, but then again, Faloons only existed in Hanover, so people who are looking this up are going to find out. The only reason I'm cautious is because I still live in Pennsylvania, but I don't live in the county Hanover is in, so I don't have to worry. But then again, I'm constantly moving, so I don't know if I'm going to pop back in and be like, I live here now, and just have people who watch my video find out where I live. I don't want that. I really don't. But then again, I say that like I'm a huge YouTuber. I'm still small, and I guarantee you, if I ever do move to Hanover, I'm still going to be a small YouTuber. Probably for years to come, so I don't have anything to worry about. So go ahead, I'll tell you about my address, the exact town I live in, the county, here's my zip code, my personal phone number, all of my emails I use for literally everything. Here, go ahead, find me, hunt me down, assassinate me, please, I'm tired of living, I'm dead inside, I never graduated. Hickory Falls was just a bigger, better area. But Faloons, they had a little golf area, yeah, but it was the size of a hallway, and all it was basically was just little green patches on the ground. It's like, here, hit the ball literally 2 feet into the hole. And then go to the next one, which it's literally the same thing, but also there's a loop, a little tiny loop. And I remember as a kid, I made a mistake. This is actually funny. Hear this. So my family was still setting things up, and I got impatient, so I wanted to go ahead and start golfing. I went to the one with the loop. My dumbass decided to just smack the ball, and instead of rolling, it flies, hits the one part of the loop, and flies back into my face, right into my eye. I wish someone caught that on camera, because I would upload that as a second, and considering the times, it would have been a viral video. Oh, wait. It's 2018. It would have been a meme. That's what they call them nowadays. I remember when we just called them viral videos. I guarantee you, people will be making like Super Mario remixes of the ball hitting my face and me starting to cry. Oh, Jesus. That place was not safe or sanitary. I guarantee it. I remember one memory of Faloons. Oh, Lord have mercy. There was this game where basically all it is, you put a quarter in, you hit the button, and a ball falls. And if it falls in the right hole, you get the ticket number, the amount of tickets that the number says on the hole you land in. Did I say that right? My grammar sucks. I really remember is being right behind someone and thinking it was my turn, so I start walking up. Turns out, they were waiting for their ball to fall. And it turns out they hit the jackpot. They didn't say anything to me. They didn't say, excuse me, we're not done yet. So they just walked away, and I took their tickets not knowing what happened until after I left, and I felt so guilty. This is like over 10 years ago, and I'm still guilty. I didn't get that jackpot. That kid did. He didn't get his tickets. He could have gotten like a little fucking, I don't know, a spider ring maybe with that amount of tickets that he won. And here I am being a jackass at like fucking 6 years old. This is mine now. I didn't bully the kid. I didn't like push him or anything. I just thought it was my turn, so I started walking up. I mean, to be honest, they could have stopped me and said, excuse me, we're not done yet. We're waiting for the ball to fall. And I would have understood. Now I just feel like a jackass for the past over 10 years of my life. Lordy. jackass at the age of 6. God damn, Lord have mercy. But Hickory Falls, that's a much better area. It has a bigger, safer jungle gym. I swear to God, they set up the jungle gym inside Faloons in like 2 days. It was all rickety. I felt unsafe as a kid who just wanted to play in the jungle gym, and I only did it because, you know, in the jungle gym where they have those tubes where, like, if you get in them, they wobble them because the tube is held up by fabric. I could tell that thing was about to break any minute. If it didn't close down because of Hickory Falls, that would have been the reason it closed down. Someone would have gotten there, like a really fat kid, obese, and then that thing would have snapped and it would have been just like a whole stream of strawberry juice that came right out of the tube, and everyone would be talking very loudly. I'm not using any offensive terms here. They also had this stupid car that always had Hickory Falls on. It was a tie-dye punch buggy with Hickory Falls' logo. It would always be driving around. It would never be at Hickory Falls. I've never seen it there. It's always parked at like Red Lobster or something. Either like the person who drives it actually owns the vehicle, or maybe they're using it for advertising, so they just sit it like by the road, because in Hanover they do have a very popular road, and it's like there's like a bunch of shopping centers: Walmart, Home Depot, Lowe's, Aaron's, Hanson's, GameStop, Steve and Peebs galore of candles and wax. That's my favorite. My grandma used to go there. It's a great place. They had a little kid center and everything. That didn't last either. I wonder why. The laser tag was so awesome. Oh my god. If you saw like a bunch of grown-ass men walking to Hickory Falls, you knew why. You knew. Because of the miniature golf. And bumper cars. And the baseball bat thing where they shoot the balls and you had to swing at them. And laser tag. Did I mention that one? No, Lord have mercy. There was also another thing in Hanover. I've never seen this place before. I've only been told about it, so it might not even be real. But apparently there's this place that in my 14 years of living in Pennsylvania, never heard of until this year. It's apparently like an arcade where you don't pay for a game. You pay like $9 to be in there for 2 hours, and all the games are for free. You can play like Street Fighter, Pac-Man. I've only heard about this place, and I've never been there, so I don't know if it's real, and I'm gonna feel like my entire life is a lie if I finally get there. If, like I said, I don't live in that area anymore. Who knows, I might drive down just to investigate, like, where is this shit? If it is going to be there, I'm going to ask how long they were established. And I'm going to go ahead and say all those years that they were established to that day of finally getting there were wasted, I tell you. Wasted. Like my high school education. Wasted. Fucking wasted. God damn. If you look up Faloons Family Fun Center, Hanover, PA, you're only going to get 2 images. And they're both of that rickety-ass jungle gym that they had. I looked it up just for the sake, just because I thought about it, and that's how I made this video. I just randomly thought about it. I was like, ooh, that could be an hotel pub. Oh, man. Jesus Christ. That was a fucking blast. But now that I think about it, Faloons wasn't that great of a place. I only had like 3 arcade games, a rickety-ass jungle gym, and the only redeeming quality was Dairy Queen. And that also closed down. Dairy Queen isn't very popular here. I don't think, anyway. That's the only Dairy Queen I know of. There's also one other close to where I live, but I've never gone there. Because, I don't know, I just always pass it, keep forgetting. Oh, look, there's a Dairy Queen. I can go there and get something to eat. Nah, I'm gonna go to McDonald's for the 20th time in a row. I hate that. Oh my god, it just happened. Oh my god, I hate it. I don't know why, when I do literally anything else, Red Room videos, just recording some stupid Club Penguin bullshit, making skits, it's fine. But whenever I do a hotel pub, it's mainly just about sound, lips like the or whatever the fuck. I hate that noise so much. It bugs me when I edit it, because You can't necessarily just remove it because it's an actual part of your when you start your sentence. So it's going to sound very cut if you do that. But then people complain when it happens, and I don't know how to stop it. So I'm here looking up bullshit on how to stop licks. Jesus, I hate it so much. Alright. People ask, what are mouth clicks? Okay, that's what they're called, I guess. Mouth clicks sound like little clips or pops that are during, before, or after speech. Almost all humans have some kind of mouth noise when they talk. It's caused by the tongue, teeth, and saliva created with bubbles. Oh. That just made it sound gross. Wait, so you're saying it's my teeth? Well, then it's simple. I just gotta punch my teeth out. My tongue? Well, that's okay. I could get that fucking lady from the movie Dead Silence to rip my tongue out. She can do the voices from now on. Why not? I could give her little papers of what I'm thinking of, and she can say it. She could take the voice of Rob Paulson, and he could have, like, Yakko Warner be on Hotel Pub 103. Oh, Rob Paulson, he has a very specific voice. I was just gonna try to see if I could do an impersonation, but I can't. He has such a specific voice that I'm terrible at impersonations. Anyway. The secrets of preventing mouth clicks in voiceover. Oh, please tell me, gravyforthebrain.com. Please. Nice fucking painting of lips you have here. No. Are you gonna give me a virus? I heard a click come from my computer. Is my computer now suffering mouth clicks? Get out of here. What are mouth clicks? I know what they are. Paying attention to dehydrate. I drank water every minute. And seriously, as soon as I got up, being overhydrated. Are you kidding me? They can do that too? Okay, then I guess I'm gonna fucking dehydrate. Well, then I ain't gonna help either. What the hell? I drink so much water, I don't even know. I had like 3 bottles of water as soon as I woke up, and that was like 4 hours ago. So maybe that is the problem. I get thirsty so easily, though. I love water. I don't know why I love... So fucking good. Here's my bottle of water if you need to hear it. The reason being dehydrated makes you clicky is that your natural saliva is less wet. Less water in your mouth means your mouth is drier and stickier. Sticky saliva means mouth clicks. But overhydration means having lots of water in the mouth is going to make the action of the tongue just as likely to make the noise as a sticky mouth. Ow! There's no balance. Why can't being a human being just be easy? We're like a basic organisms. We can imagine beings like dragons and aliens from the dimension Iknok. But we can't even figure out our own species and how to stop mouth clicks impermanently. And why is it that sometimes I slur my words like an idiot? Oh, Jesus, it's like I'm talking like a 2-year-old and a 21-year-old's body. I have terrible grammar, I slur my words, my lips smack, I hate it, I hate my life, I want to die, I'm gonna go ahead and die right now. Ugh. I should put this as like, the lip smacking rant, put it in all capitals. Isn't that clickbaity enough? Don't you love it when people have like the title, The Blank Rant? Because it's totally not attention grabbing or anything else. I get it, you need to find a way to get views, but at the same time, I'd much rather, be a little honest. Well, I guess it's not really dishonest to say that. It is still a rant of that thing you're talking about, but still, I just feel like it's a little clickbaity when people do that, especially when they're making rant videos based on a certain TV show, and they say, blank is bad, is their title. Yeah, way to make it sound like you're stating it as a fact, but then you claim you respect other people's views. I also like when they start off their video, this thing is horrible, and if you like it, just wait, just wait. Yeah, it's completely respecting other people's views. You're totally not being an asshole. If we don't normally hear mouth clicks in speech, why do we hear it in recording? Yeah, it's a good question. Answer? Question mark. Mouth clicks are emphasized as a part of the recording and post-production process. The audio signal is recorded, and then the post-production process of comprehension is applied to the voiceover recording. I got no lip smack in that entire in that sentence, but when I'm ranting about Five Nights at Freddy's, I'm gonna smack clumsily. Jesus Christ. Confused? Okay, let's use these pictures to help. Oh, well, none of them are available. All the pictures are broken, it looks like. No, I have to actually click them. I don't trust this website, so I ain't gonna do that. So the voiceover recording and post-production process is making mouth clicks worse. You know that noise? I just did it. Oh my god, I actually heard that one. I felt my tongue do it. So, you know that noise a lot of people like to do for meme videos where it sounds like distortion, like... I'm just thinking it's going to be that one time. I'm going to go to recording, and every time I start a sentence, it's going to like... So I went to the store today. What's that noise called? Does that meme have a sound? Water. I feel saliva all in my mouth. It's gross. Fucking hell. Drinking all this water probably not gonna help. The fuck else am I supposed to do? I don't know. It's very obnoxious. Every single time I want to record something, it's either my lip smack, I slur my words, I'm incomprehensible, I talk like a child, or I have to constantly catch my breath. When I record, sometimes you just hear me go, and then so I went over to down the street. It's like I'm slowly dying of like asthma or something like that. I don't even have asthma. Wait, can you get asthma? Is that something you can just randomly get? I'm not saying I might have asthma, but I'm just curious. A bottle a day keeps the voice director at bay. So constant sipping of water is essential. I usually get my voiceovers to sip a little water, 10 to 15 lines or so. Yes, it will be. They will be on the toilet every single break. Oh, Jesus! I relate to this so well. Oh God. Oh, Jesus Christ. Forget the green apple myth. Green apple? Eating green apples to stop clicking mouth is a temporary fix only. Never lasts more than 5-10 minutes before the clicks are back. Well, then why not just take a bite out of a green apple, save it, and then wait 5 minutes, take another bite, and go on? I'm sorry. That's it? That's it? Are you saying and say with a fucking page? Lord of mercy. It's awful. Huh. This is a predicament. So, basically, don't drink water. But also drink water. Well, now I'm confused. Well, it hasn't happened in a while, from what I've heard. I think if I open my mouth a certain way. Thankfully, no one can see me, because I would look like a goon right now. My cheeks are all bloody. Lord of mercy. Alright. It's all I could find, I guess. Every other page I go to has like paragraph of this. And they don't even head to the actual point. They just head on about like, so you've heard about lip smacking, how it could be a huge problem. And in the next paragraph, I've talked to my buddy at the hospital, and he was severely ill with some kind of rare terminal illness caused by lip smacking. The next paragraph, you get the point. Just please, I asked a question. I did not ask for what voice am I doing? I asked a question. I didn't ask for a novel. If I wanted a novel on lip smacking, I will go to the library or Audible. Not sponsored by Audible. Shocking, because it seems like they want to sponsor everyone. Sponsor me, Audible, please. Pay for my rents. Noise ain't going on anymore. I was gonna say, hear that? There's a bird. Window's open because it's hot.
Finally, it feels like summer is here. Now I want it to be gone.
So as already mentioned, I went to see Ready Player One, but oh my god, this was the best experience of my life. And not even the movie itself is what I'm talking about. Okay, so for those who don't know, I haven't gone to the movies in a long time. Last I'd say would be like 2014 with As Above, So Below. Second time watching it, I think, because I was a girl I liked and I wanted to impress her. And I was like, oh yeah, I've never seen this before. We could see it together. Wink, wink, nudge, nudge. Things didn't work out between me and her. Let's just say that. I feel like when I say, let's just say that, it seems like something horrible happened. No, not really. We decided to stay friends. Anyway, moving on. Even though we haven't talked in forever. But whatever. So, last night, I went to see Ready Player One. And I went to a movie theater I used to go to all the time. It was a movie theater I went to go see Tron Legacy in. One of the 5 times I saw Tron Legacy in theaters, because I don't care what anyone says. I love that movie, alright? You can say, it's bad, it's not a good movie, it's not Tron. I don't care, I love it. I have opinions. I'm gonna take a swig real quick. So here's what happened, okay. The movie theater we went to was the Regal Cinema, which used to be in this mall, but the mall was torn down, and now it's an outside mall, which I hate. I mean, the fountain looks good, but that's it. I mean, I'd much prefer walking on the inside of a building with multiple different stores inside, rather than just walking on the outside. A constant change of like hot room temperature, or vice versa. I'd rather just stay inside a building with multiple other buildings on the inside. I mean, yeah, the West Manchester Mall was pretty dull and boring. And it looks visually more interesting, but it has less stores now, and a lot of the stores are... And it had this like a retro video game store back then too, and it was huge. You would not believe the size of the sucker. Oh, but now it's gone forever. They also had a hurricane machine. Here's me inside of it back when I was 15 years old in 2011. That's the only recorded footage I have being inside the West Manchester Mall back when it was a thing. I mean, it kind of still is. It's just an outside mall now. And I've heard they're going to do that to another mall close in that area. I hope not. I much prefer inside malls. Hey, you know what? Just keep the Galleria. That's all I ask. That's all you need is keep the Galleria. And for those who don't know, that is a mall within the area I live in within Pennsylvania. And the reason I'm telling you this is because by the time you're watching this, or by the time my channel, if it ever does get noticed, I'd already be moving to Texas. So, I guess it doesn't really matter. So here's my zip code, my address, my social security number. So anyway, inside, the movie theater is still there. It hasn't moved at all. I mean, it used to be like you could walk into the movie theater through the mall, but they blocked that off, obviously. And there used to be an arcade right by the movie theater. That was closed down before the mall even shut down. Because things like Steam and whatnot decided to be like, arcades are stupid. No, the fuck they're not. Anyway, moving on with that too. So I went in, and to get our tickets, I was with my sister's girlfriend. We were just hanging out. And I went and be like, can I have 2 tickets to Ready Player One? And they're like, which seats will you be taking? Excuse me, what? What seats will you be taking? Don't we just, walk in and just sit wherever we want? Oh, no. We have to you have to tell us what seats you will be taking so that we can turn them on. Excuse me? You don't want to turn the seats on? What kind of witchcraft is this? Okay, so apparently they need to do this so they can turn them on because they're electric recliners now. They have those in movie theaters. I'm like, what the hell? And when someone told me they have recliners in the movie theaters, I thought there were only like certain seats, kind of like the, what's it called? The D-Experience, whatever, where the seats move with the movie. And I thought only certain people could have them. And I also thought they'd be like kind of like living room couches where you just pull a lever and the legs just fly up. No. These are every seat. They're electric and even have like buttons that can push the leg thing, whatever the fuck that's called, the lift as I like to call it, up and down. I mean, it's not perfect. only the legs go up and the chair goes slightly down. The back of the seat doesn't go back at all. So you're kind of just sitting in the same position, but your legs are up now. And it hurt my back a little bit. But it's still kind of amazing. Like, what the hell? I mean, you could tell there were less seats than usual. Mainly because now they have recliners. So they have to space things out. So I guess I had to remove seats. Ooh, excuse me. Sorry, I'm drinking. Another swig. But it's still goddamn amazing. And that's not the only thing. I went, alright, how about we get some food too? And then we saw this menu. It's like, alright, popcorn, hot dogs, on the normal stuff. And then it's just like, what the hell is this? You had like a weird salad, some kind of like, some kind of, what is it? They had weird, hard to pronounce food. What I'm saying is, essentially, they had restaurant quality meals on dishes. I'm sitting here going, I asked, do you guys have pretzel bits? We have pretzel sticks. And I don't mean like those little things you could buy at Walmart. The like pencil-sized things. I mean fully cooked breadstick-sized pretzels. Along with salads, a whole fucking pizza that shaped like a little tiny wide football for some reason. They had like all these other meals too. It's like, what? Am I in a movie theater or a 5-star restaurant? I mean, don't get me wrong. It was cooked very poorly, you know, like a movie theater would. And I do very much prefer kind of like the old classic stuff, the simple stuff. When I go to the movies, I don't want like a 5-star meal to be distracting me. I don't want to be like, I want to concentrate in the movie, but this lobster is so good. I just, you know, have some popcorn, hot dogs. I don't care. But it's still amazing that that's a thing, because I'm sitting there going, oh my god. And I was like, alright, what about the candy? They have this new machine, right? Instead of like, okay, you can still buy like bags of Twizzlers and all that kind of stuff, but now they have this new thing, right when you start getting into the movies. Essentially this, you can get a cup and fill it up with any candy you want, and you can mix and match. Like you can have like, I don't know, I don't know that many candies off the top of my head. Gobstoppers with Willy Wonka Nerds, I guess. Those are good examples, and you can put them all in the same cup. I'm just like, what the hell? And they even came with little stuffed animals inside too, but those were sold out. Not that I was going to get those. I didn't even get the candy. I was like more amazed by the concept of it. I'm like, what the hell is this? My sister's girlfriend is like, shouldn't we go see the movie? I'm like, hang on, let me look at this device. I didn't know we just woke up in the 31st century. This is Futurama here. Dun, 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 dun. Oh my god. It was just... I know most movie theaters are probably still the same. It was just the Regal Cinema. Or maybe just that one Regal Cinema. But still, I'm just sitting here going, oh my lord. My theory is that they want to give people more of a reason to go into the movies because, you know, streaming is a thing, and going to the movies can sometimes be a little awkward because of huge crowds of people, some people on their cell phone being loud and obnoxious. They kind of want to make up for it, be like, hey, you got streaming, but we got recliners. Well, so do I in my own house. But do you have a salad? I can make one, but do you want us to make it? Oh, I didn't think about that one. Oh, God. Going to the movies is a whole new experience. I kind of like it, but I also kind of don't like it. You know, I just kind of like the simplistic, you know, I just want to get like popcorn, a regular ass seat I feel comfy in. I like the recliner thing, but they still need to fix the seat so I can lean back so it doesn't hurt the lower part of my back. See, I was going through aches and pains, and I still kind of am, so I thought like this is just that, and I was getting concerned about it. So I asked if my sister's girlfriend was going to the same thing, and she said yes. So I thought, okay, it's not just me. But I will say this. They gave us 3D glasses. I didn't know the movie time I picked was 3D. I thought it was just a regular showing of Ready Player One. I mentioned this in the Ready Player One hotel pub, but I fucked up my own 3D glasses and I didn't even realize it. I was like, I'm having a hard time seeing through the edges of these things. Like, the center was fine, but everything else wasn't. You know what happened? My own fingerprints. I was touching the screen. I was touching the little lenses like an idiot. And I'm sitting there going, why is it so blurry at the edges? Am I going blind? But no, I just look at them the day later making the hotel pub for Ready Player One, and I think, oh, I just fucked him up myself. I'm just an idiot. Oh, Lord of mercy. Now, I don't know how many movie theaters this affects. It could just be Regal Cinema this affects, or even certain Regal Cinemas. It might not even be like every theater within the entire movie theater, if that makes sense. And what I'm saying is just like that one room out of all the others where they're showing movies. I don't know. All I'm saying is it's goddamn amazing. It does kind of make me like worried for like how far are they gonna go. But, you know, because I still kind of prefer, like, simplicity. I don't care if it's junk. I'd much rather just get, like, a hot dog, some pretzel bits with nacho cheese. I tried to get nachos there. You know what they gave me? They gave me the nacho chips. And then they gave me this weird white thing. It's not cheese. It's some other sauce. I'm like, what the hell is this? And then they put teriyaki meat on it. It's like, when I asked for meat, I wanted, you know, like, that taco meat that they sometimes put on there. But then now I remember, you know, it just occurred to me that I kind of sound like an idiot there because they don't serve. Because what I usually get is from Taco Bell. I'm thinking of Taco Bell. It's just regular nachos with cheese at the movie theater. So I kind of screwed myself over in that one, I guess. I just realized how much of an idiot I was. Oh, lordy. But it was still like the weirdest tasting thing ever. Like, I was willing to give it a chance. Hence why I got it. But as soon as I put it in my mouth, I'm like, no. That's why I kind of got like that little football-sized pizza thing and a hot dog. But the pizza thing was so damn big, too. I'm like, you expect me to eat this? Well, joke's on you, I will. Because my stomach is like a black hole, a huge void. I decided not to eat anything before I came here because I love movie theater food. Maybe junk, but... When don't I eat junk? I'm surprised I'm not 300 pounds at this point. Lord of mercy. Anyway, like, what is the future of movie theaters anyway? I've seen like Google Maps for where I'm moving to in Texas, which I don't know if I should reveal just yet. But they have a drive-in theater there. And I'm thinking, oh, I gotta see this shit out. I mean, check this shit out. See this shit out. Oh. Jesus. You know, maybe in future preference when I make more of these, I should learn how to properly speak like a normal human being. Because I indeed am a human being.